and it's the wave of the future.
Yeah. So initially, like I said, we started in 94. And what we were initially going to do is we had a guy locally in Tallahassee that had a production truck. We were going to rent his production truck and go around and do the different games just like you regularly do on terrestrial media. But it just got to be cost prohibitive even when we were looking at what we wanted to do. And as I said, I was working in radio as a drive time jock. And I'll never forget it. It was funny. The day I got off on a Friday and came to work that next Monday, all of the albums, all of my CDs, everything was gone. And I'm like, where's all the music? And they're like, oh, it's all coming across the internet now. And we get the playlist from corporate headquarters. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's interesting. And so at that point, I started researching what was happening with the internet and where they were planning on going with it. And I literally spent about 6 months doing some deep diving into it. And I told my partner, I'm like, dude, this internet thing is going to be huge. And I'm like, you're going to be watching it on your phones in the next 10, 15 years. Now, mind you, this is right after the first flip phone from Motorola came out, that little gray one.
Yeah, the 550, Motorola 550.
There you go. Yeah, we all had that one little gray phone. So, and we started off doing audio. And it was funny because I tell people, I said, the biggest thing that's the hugest difference for me is that when I had my cell phone then, all the data was free because nobody was using it. And so we had the data. We would take it. We would, I'd connect a couple of headsets up to my laptop. And, I had the little wire connected for the Motorola phone that went into the USB port. And we would go and do live audio broadcasts of games because we just, we were like, we wanted to get them out. And so the first 2.5-3 years, we did audio broadcasts, but we were actually live streaming HBCU sports 6 years before ESPN started streaming.
Wow. Are you going to potentially do a partnership with them?
Well, we're actually working with them now on some of the events that they have. They have the MEAC, what's called the MEAC SWAC Challenge and the Celebration Bowl, which is the MEAC SWAC Challenge is the Division I conferences. Mm-hmm. And I can give you a little bit more information on that. But yeah, we're always open to working with them. We do some things with them now.
Sure. All right. When we come back, we also wanted to get Russell to give us all his Hulk Hogan stories because I'm sure he's got a lot of them. All right. Okay, you guys ready? This is our hard question. Or actually, let's see. No, this is not too hard a question here. What was the first company to cross $1 trillion in market value? This would be on the stock market. Which was and I'll give you a hint, it happened in 2018. What was the first company to cross the 1 trillion mark in market value back in 2018? All right, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
At the heart of San Francisco lies the Axiom Hotel. Located in the heart of Union Square, the Axiom Hotel blends a sense of history with modern touches. Our spacious accommodations are comfortable and created with a soft ambiance, with state-of-the-art amenities such as a core fitness center and in-room espresso and coffee. Guest reviews rave about the staff, as well as how quiet the hotel is, so you can get a good night's sleep and rest up for a day of shopping at the best stores San Francisco has to offer. Just steps from the Powell Street cable car turnaround, the Axiom Hotel is ideal for exploring downtown San Francisco. Check out AxiomHotel.com for our specials and vacation packages and book online today. That's AxiomHotel.com or call 415-392-9466. That's 415-392-9466. The Axiom Hotel, San Francisco.
Mountain Mike's Pizza. You've heard our phrase, pizza the way it ought to be. But did you know that our famous pepperoni large pizza has over 100 pieces of pepperoni on it? Our dough and shredded cheese are made fresh daily, never frozen. Having a party? We have a great room for parties and a video arcade with tickets and prizes for kids. Located at 2100 4th Street in San Rafael. You'll enjoy your pizza the way it ought to be. Call us at 415-454-4300. That's Mountain Mike's Pizza in San Rafael.
Van Halen redefined rock and roll with blistering guitar riffs, unforgettable hooks, and a stage show that felt larger than life. From Runnin' with the Devil to Jump, they took the raw power of 70s rock, added wild energy and guitar heroics, and delivered the soundtrack of a generation. Now, San Fran Halen captures that spirit with precision and passion. This Bay Area supergroup brings Van Halen's legendary catalog roaring back to life. Get ready for an authentic, high-energy show that channels the full-throttle fun of Van Halen's prime.
This isn't just a tribute. This is a celebration.
Come party like it's 1984 on Saturday, August 16th at Santa Rosa's Vintage Space Nightclub in the Flamingo Hotel.
2777 4th Street, Santa Rosa.
San Fran Halen.
San Fran Halen.
August 16th. Get your tickets online at sanfranhalen.com.
Lowe's knows hot deals help you get the most out of summer. Get up to 30% off select major appliances and get it delivered as soon as next day. Plus, get up to 30% off select patio furniture, grills, outdoor power equipment, and more. These end-of-season savings won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Valid on eligible in-stock orders in select locations. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. One more time, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Russell Jackman, Mike McDowd, and our special guest, Roy Mitchell Evans II. Second trivia question, what was the first company to cross the $1 trillion mark in market value? Michael.
I know Russ is just sitting there going, I got this answer. That's just like you stole my answer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You bum. I'm going to, it's either one of two. All right. I'm going to go Apple.
You are correct. Apple Computer.
It was Apple.
And now
okay.
I think NVIDIA crossed like 4 trillion or something. Something ridiculous.
Wow.
Now you're talking real money.
Okay.
1 million or 1 trillion, nothing. 4 trillion, now you're talking real money. Okay, go ahead. Mike, you wanted to ask Roy a question.
Yeah, our special guest is Roy Mitchell Evans II. So very privileged to have you aboard and sharing your story, your network, and particularly the Black College Sports Network, because it's making some serious news. It's making noise. People are paying attention for a number of reasons, and you can extrapolate on this, but you know what's really cool? If you haven't noticed, and I'm not too sure, of course, I'm in Florida right now, these guys are in the Bay Area. HBU sports has become, in the last couple of years, super prominent on different networks, primarily ESPN, the CW, I've noticed, and some other networks are really, how should you say, promoting Black College sports, and in particular, not only Division I, but Division II. There's really good ball at the Division II level. Proudly, I can say that I'm the voice of Edward Waters University in Jacksonville, Florida, the football voice. But even those level of athletes are getting the much-needed publicity and love that they deserve.
Yeah, it's been great. And I mean, you know, let's call it what it is. When Deion went to Jackson State, it turned a light on that hadn't been shined on it before. You know, it's just, I mean, Deion is a generational talent, generational athlete, you know, that everybody knows who he is. And so somebody of his caliber coming to, you know, Deion coming to coach at your school is like Michael Jordan coming to coach basketball. Yeah. Is ultimately what it was. And he brought a lot of attention. And people started noticing, as you said that, a couple of years ago, we actually had Edward Waters under contract. We were doing some of their games. They ended up with a player that had every NFL team coming down. He was a tight end. They came down to watch him work out at Edward Waters. And so what's happened is a lot of people just don't realize the impact from an athlete standpoint that you actually have had with the HBCUs. And to kind of put it in perspective, because you did mention both Division I and Division II. In FCS, and I'm sure you guys understand the difference between FBS and FCS, so football. In the FCS, which is the what used to be Division I AA in college football, the SWAC, which is the Southwestern Athletic Conference, has literally led attendance about 39 to 40 years in the FCS space.
Wow.
The SIAC, which is the conference that Edward Waters is in now, has led Division II for about the last 35 to 40 years in attendance. So we've always had the fans, and like I said, because we've been playing football for such a long time versus some of these other schools. And so you've got that opportunity where they're out there and the fans have been there. And so the media entities started recognizing that. One of the things that the Division II schools can do in HBCU that you can't get most other FCS programs to be able to do, we can actually take 2 Division II schools to a city and get 30,000 people in the stands. You're not going to get any other Division II conferences to do that, and most FCS conferences can't even do that, to take them to a neutral site and do things of that nature. So, it's being able to just put that out there.
Are they going to those games because of the football teams or the bands? Because what people don't realize, even at the Division II, Edward Waters University, phenomenal band. They are fantastic. Yep. I mean, they put on a show. They're moving, they're grooving, they're shaking, they're baking. I mean, they do it all. It's awesome. Yeah. Edward, I got to get you out here, and you got to experience this, because even at the Division II letter, it is a game day party.
When I was in Scotland, I saw the military marching bands around the world. It was a special thing that they do once a year, and it was pretty spectacular on that. Well, Roy, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you want to stay with us, that would be great. First of all, how do people get a hold of you if they're more interested in your, your historically black college? We have the sporting events. Yeah.
Well, you can always reach us. Our email is info@myjbn.com.
MyJBN, okay.
.com, yeah. And then our website is mybcsn.com. That's our corporate site, and it'll get you to everything that you need to know to get to us there. The Black College Sports Network is a division of the Jericho Broadcast Networks, which is the parent company that I actually created around the Black College Sports Network when I realized there was a lot more that we could do. And so, those are the things. But yeah, just getting it in. And I heard you guys talk about it. I don't know. I want to hear some of the Hulk Hogan stuff. I am kind of interested.
Yeah.
My grandfather actually was a ring announcer and a referee for WWE.
Wow.
So I grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida, Riviera Beach, Florida, and the West Palm Beach Auditorium is where they used to come and do the wrestling. And my grandfather had pictures of him with Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, and all those guys when they first won their belt. So I'm a wrestling fan from way back.
Well, Russ had a moniker, Buddy Sotelo. He was the bad guy. He was the bad guy, like not the Paul Bearer type.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, Russ, you're on mute right now. You got to Russ, you got to get off mute. Russ, get off mute.
Yeah,
You've been waiting.
It's like more like Jim Cornette or Jimmy Hart. More like one of those kind of managers. But we'll get into that, I guess, when we come back from the next break, or we have time in the segment.
Yeah, we got time. Let's all
hear all the facts. So yeah, I mean, the passing of Hulk Hogan, he's one of the major entertainment icons of our time. If you even just take it away from just the wrestling aspect of it and just say, as a cultural icon, you can't really talk about the 80s without talking about Hulk Hogan. In fact, when I had my daughter look at what I consider, important movies of our time, I made sure she saw Rocky III, because I think that there's probably no more movie that summarizes that action film of the 80s than Rocky III does. And it was the debut of Hulk Hogan that really brought him into the public eye. and created what was known as the Rock and Wrestling Connection with MTV, which was the real genius move, because that led everything into WrestleMania. And WrestleMania now has become a cultural icon. I was at WrestleMania 2 in person at the LA Coliseum, or in the LA Arena, Sports Arena, to see the Hulk Hogan King Kong Bundy matchup. And I've seen Hulk Hogan wrestle left and right and diagonally and in just about every. I used to watch him wrestle in Japan, where he used to wear white trunks, and he actually wrestled pretty scientifically to, Thunder in Paradise and No Holds Barred and some of his and Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando and his terrible, terrible movies. And,
yeah, but his body slam of Andre the Giant is got to go down and was one of the biggest feats in.
Although Andre the Giant had been slammed a number of times before that. People who are really smart, what you would call smart marks, know everyone from Harley Race to Kamala the Ugandan Giant had body slammed Andre the Giant before. But
really, okay, that's
wrestling is, and even Hulk Hogan had slammed him in like 1981. But no, when he was in the AWA and known as Sterling Golden. But most people didn't know that. So that's the thing, is that Vince McMahon always took advantage of the lack of information of the public. And, especially with Hulk Hogan, any lie would become much bigger with the two of them involved. Those two could just build a fictitious story that would go all the way to, the ceiling,
Yeah, but even it's funny because I think about these body slams, and most of the time, you see the guy who's getting.
Please stand by for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network on the Live 365 Network and the Live 365 app.
Reserve Radio 2 and the iMedia One Network present Youngstown Patricians football this afternoon. Surprise, the Patricians are in the PAFL Tier 2 playoffs. We'll get to that momentarily. Mark Means, Matt Marr, Dave Ferris, high atop beautiful Couple Stadium here at the home of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. It is the Patricians in the Steel City Bobcats meeting for the second time. And the Bobcats and Patricians, they met way back on June 21st. That was a double overtime, 14-7 loss to the Bobcats for the Patricians. And Matt, we talked to Coach Harrison. He said he felt like that was the most complete game they played all season.
No, absolutely here. I mean, just a lot of praise for his guys and a lot of love for them. A little bit of tough love after we left, of course, too, but he seemed pretty confident in their ability, and we also were able to talk to the Bobcats coach right before, and they seemed a little embarrassed by that one, just going to double overtime. So this might be an interesting game right now, especially since people seem to be a lot more healthy than they were in that game.
You look at this matchup, and again, double overtime, 14-7 loss for the Patricians. Steel City came into that game undefeated, playing exceptionally well. They are the number one seed in the second division of Tier 2. One of the teams unable to fulfill their obligations to play in the postseason. So as the highest seeded remaining team, the Patricians have slid over to play this game here in the opposite division in Tier 2. Now this winner will match up between the Leviathan and the Arctic Bengals. Leviathan 4-4. The Arctic Bengals are 6-2. That game going on this afternoon. We will try to keep you updated on that as we go. We're going to take our first timeout just about 7 minutes away from kickoff. When we do, we'll let you know if you're not watching on the Facebook feed about this amazing facility for today's game. That's coming up next here on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Pregame show rolls on as we get you ready for the Patricians and the Bobcats here in the PAFL Tier 2 opening round playoff game. 77 degrees under mostly sunny skies, low humidity. Compared to what the Cobras and Patricians had last week in Cleveland, Matt, couldn't really ask for better weather for a game in early August.
Better weather, better jerseys as well, wearing all white today instead of their blacks, as you told me. So definitely a much better setup here for the players that were able to make it out for this one.
A little bit of smaller numbers out for this playoff game, but we like to remind everyone that is tuned in on any of our different outlets, these are semi-pros. So if it comes to a situation where one of these guys, doesn't matter, is it your star tailback, is it your quarterback, is it your number 3 left tackle, if they've got to work that day, they're going to work, and somebody else has got to step up and fill those shoes.
Next man up mentality. That's the mark of a good team. If you can come through and get out some points, put out a good game, put out a good effort, and even get that win when you don't have all your starters on, you've got a good team right there. So this is a good test for them, as it seems like most, not playoff games, but road games have been this season here for the Patricians, to show what exactly they can do, how good their team is, how deep their depth is.
We are just a couple of miles away from downtown Pittsburgh. We passed Acrisure Stadium and PNC Park to get here. Matt, this is a beautiful facility. Just recently had about $2 million in upkeep put into this facility.
No, it looks great here. New paint job on the stands across from us on this one. Nice elevator to get right up here so we didn't have to lug all of our stuff up the stairs. I can't complain about this. They even have a nice parking spot out in the end zone where we were able to park if we wanted to, and they lock it up so nobody can get in. This is really nice. feel like we made it.
Patricians, white pants, white jerseys with the red names and numbers on the back, the black helmet with the Patricians P on the side. The homestanding Bobcats, multicolored jerseys. They've got the blue, black, and yellow pants with the blue, black, and yellow jerseys, matte black helmets with the easy name and numbers to read on the back. Now, Matt, you kind of dive into this matchup, and we mentioned the fact, 14-7 double overtime loss for the Patricians when they met the first time. And you look at the numbers and offense, let's be honest about it. It's been a bit of a struggle for the Patricians. They've got about 10 quarters without putting any points on the board, and they're averaging less than 9 points a game.
Definitely a lot to be concerned about there, surely, but again, you never know. You just take it one game at a time. And again, the next man up mentality, you never know what one of these guys is going to do on a given game, especially now given the magnitude of it being a playoff game. You never know. Somebody could and somebody needs to rise to that occasion. I can't wait to see who it is.
Patricians giving up about 19.5 points per game defensively. We expect to see Derek DiMattia, who was saw some action in the game last week against the Cobras. He is expected to get the start, according to what we heard from Coach Harris for the former Youngstown Liberty product for the Bobcats. They are 7-1 in Tier 2 of the PAFL. Coach and owner Darren Jackson's offense averaging 23 points per game, giving up just 10. You look at those numbers, and they reflect in a 7-1 season.
No, absolutely here. That's something that you got to keep an eye on here if you are the Patricians, is just that offense. Again, like you just said, that was 23.1 in offense, averages per game. That's incredible right there, especially for the level that we're talking about. That's a deadly team out there. You got to keep an eye on them. You got to make sure that the guys you have here, again, are just ready to go. But that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that you're just ready and that you play and that you give it your all.
Going to take our final timeout, step aside for a 60-second break. When we come back, we'll kick this off. It's the PAFL playoffs on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local events. Tune in and be part of their live weekly shows, as well as the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the PAFL. Find them on westernreserveradio.com, tune in, and the Live 365 app to be part of the area's conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio or on Twitter at WR_radio.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Couple of updates for you before we take the air in this one. Jaquan Green scheduled to get the start for the Bobcats. If you remember hearing that name, we didn't hear it for a lot in that first matchup, but we heard it in some key situations. He didn't play quarterback till the overtime against the Patricians back on that game on June 21st. Led them to 2 touchdowns in both overtime drives, so he will get the start today for the Steel City Bobcats. We've also been told that the Leviathan has chosen not to play their game today against the Arctic Bengals. So the Bengals get that win. They move on to the Tier 2 semifinals next week, and they will await the winner of this one. And obviously the Bengals wanted to play that game, but you'll take an opportunity to get a forfeit, get a week's rest, but it's also a week without playing. So be interesting to see that Bengals team, how they match up with whoever they face next week.
Now you bring that up here. That's definitely a double-edged sword. Yeah, the rest, that sounds great, but you know those guys, they all want to play, especially this week. They don't want to go a week off. They want to go out there, they want to show what they have, and they want to go into the next week red hot, and this kind of cools them down a little bit, which could be a very good thing for whoever comes out on top on this game. So we'll see how that works out.
You always see that in the NFL season where some of those teams elect not to play their ones in any of the preseason games. We've seen it a lot with the Bengals the last couple of years, and they're slow out of the gate. So we will see how that matches up. We've got our captains' meetings now coming up at midfield. Let's see, out there for the Patricians. That is number 3, Marcus Brown. That is a number 5, Ryan Royster. That is number 36, Landon Bates. That is quarterback Corey McElroy, number 11. And that is also Anthony Harris, number 23, as those will be the captains representing the Patricians as we've got the toss. And more importantly, Matt, for this afternoon's game, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got all 5 officials, so we're off to a good start.
Well, I did see 4 when I was coming out. I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking, but yeah, that's a very good start, like you said. Good sign for this one. Should be a nice, fair, and hopefully balanced game as we continue on.
And I know Dave will nod in agreement. Something I don't believe we have seen this year for a Patricians game all year. Usually it's 5 black-hatted officials, and one of them will call a penalty. Sometimes they'll point towards the press box and tell us. Sometimes they won't, but we've actually got a white-hatted referee ready to go for this afternoon's game. So we're off to a pretty good start.
Well, in theory here, again, we'll see how it goes, and if they do decide to still tell us or not, let's see if they even know that they have media up here to tell. Of course, that scoreboard being running today, that's still something to know.
So the Patricians, I believe, declined, won the toss, deferred to the second half, so I believe Steel City is going to get the football to begin this game. We'll wait for the final indication. So Steel City won the toss. They've elected to receive, so they will get the football to start things off here this afternoon, and on what has turned out to be a fantastic game for this week. I had a chance to talk to one of my other partners, and he said, you're going to enjoy Couple Stadium. Depending on what floor you're on, you might even have air conditioning in the booth. Unfortunately, we're on the top tier. We don't have that, but it's still a beautiful day. He said, just be wary. There's not a lot of parking. And he was correct on that one.
Absolutely correct. I mean, I was able to get into a spot again in that north end zone. I'm lucky because that thing filled up quick. Whew, that was a little bit of a concern here, but hey, we're here, we're calling the game, and my car hasn't been towed just yet, so that's a good thing.
You got a good eyeball of it, too. So we are at the home of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. If you look to the right side near the scoreboard, you've got all the logos of all those schools in the corner. And it looks like we are going to get ready to get this one underway.
We've got 2 schools that are using 2 different Poland Seminary Bulldog logos, if you're familiar with the Youngstown area, with the big block P and then, of course, the Bulldog. So not a lot of variation. That's high school football for you, though.
Right. It seems like you do. You seem like the same 12 logos from C to C in this state's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you go out of this state, you'll start seeing the Browns helmet in different variations and the Bengals B. So high school just likes to take what they can, but they have fun with it, and that's a big part of it. My alma mater, St. V, we took Notre Dame's mascot and just kind of made it a little different.
Right. My alma mater, Hubbard, we took the Philadelphia Eagles logo.
And there's that out there, too, in purple.
Made a little bit of adjustments to it. We were, however, missing one very important thing that they just brought onto the field. So we've got the chains. We're not using the digital markers or the special markers that they use for that first preseason game in Canton on Thursday. But we've got the chain crew ready to go. We will not have David Harbaugh with the team today, the former Lake product that handles the punting and kicking. So they've got a couple of different players that are going to handle that for today. As we will get ready for the Patricians to kick off. The Steel City Bobcats going to go right to left on your device, whether you're watching on Facebook, listening on the iMedia One app, YouTube, or any of the other places you can find Western Reserve Radio 2. Immediately following this game, we will join the game between the Rapids and Cobras already in progress. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff from Cleveland.
That'll be another fun one to keep an eye on. And it's just a great night for football here on Saturday at the beginning of August. Full games, playoffs. And this is just the best time right here. This is pretty much our preseason for high school, too.
Couple of weeks away. Our kickoff is the 21st of August. That Thursday night, Dave Clark and I will have Liberty and Camel, followed by Canton McKinley and Warren Harding. Brett Widener gets his foot into this one, and the kick is popped up. And the returner retreated back a couple of yards and then was tackled by Landon Bates near the 32-yard line. And a couple of the Bobcats just kind of turned and was like, what are you doing? He gave ground instead of trying to go upfield.
Yeah, the kick wasn't very far. They had a good chance to get it over the 50 into the right spot, but there was a lot of hesitation there by the receiver for the Bobcats. Like you just said, he didn't seem to really know where he was going with the ball, which direction he should go, and he got taken out easy.
It kind of felt like for a minute he was going to signal for a fair catch, just never made the signal.
And that very well could have been the case, but still, got to make sure that you're on top of that.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Bobcats on offense. That is Jaquez Green, number 5, getting the start at quarterback. Going to put a single back with him in the backfield and put 2 receivers to the right side of the formation. Bobcats, they want to run the football. They've got a big offensive line. They want to hammer the ball down your throat, averaging 23 points a game. They'll run it on first down off the tackle across the 35 and down near the 37-yard line. Maurice Dowsell, number 24, on that carry for a short gain.
Not a bad pickup at all here, though. Still getting it somewhat deep in there. Looked like maybe about 4 or 5 yards on the carry, though. Doesn't look like they're moving it too terribly deep, just waiting on that chain to move. But still, not too bad there, just trying to make up from that mistake at the very beginning. But also good coverage there by the defense.
So that is a gain of just about 5 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 5 out to the 38. 14:30 clock running, opening quarter, no score. Bobcats right to left. Put 2 receivers to the left side. Now a man in motion. That's Sherrill. They'll run it on second down. That's a first down right up the gut across the 45 and down to the 49-yard line. Once again, that's Maurice Dowsell, number 24 on the carry, and the Bobcats have their first down of the night.
Dowsell using his size to his advantage here. One of the smaller guys on the field, able to squeeze through some of those holes that were left there by the Patricians. That's a good weapon there for the Bobcats to have. No wonder they keep using him on these at least first 2.
1st and 10 from the Bobcats' 49-yard line. Opening possession for Steel City, who went 7-1 during the regular season. 2 to the right side. They're going to pitch it. Dowsell running to that strong side of the formation across the 50. And he's going to be knocked down at the, we'll call it the 47-yard line on the initial spot. And ran to that strong side, but this time the Patricians defense there to make the stop.
Well, they must have known it was a strong side too. That's why you got to cover it. And, well, he just did the predictable thing, went over, and they took him down about 3 or 4 yards in.
2nd down and 6 from the 47-yard line. Same look we've seen from the Bobcats. This time they'll put 2 receivers to the left. Single back in the backfield. That's 24, Dowsell with Green. They're going to run the football again. This will be another first down across the 40 and down near the 38-yard line. 2nd first down on this opening drive for Steel City.
Looked like about 3 or 4 extra yards on that one as well. Just a good run. Again, they're just sticking to their ground game here. I'm waiting to see if any of these teams want to try and throw the ball here, go for one of their receivers, but not yet. Not at least here for the Bobcats.
Dowsell going to check out. Keith Jackson, wearing number 23, will come into the formation for the Bobcats. They're going to spread it out a little bit here. Go 2 by 2, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, with Jackson in the backfield with Green on 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They'll run it to Green right up the middle across the 35 and down to the 32-yard line. Bobcats, they've been getting good yardage on first down, and that really does open up the playbook on 2nd and 3rd.
Well, when you only have 3 or 4 yards extra to run after your first play, yeah, I'd say so. Not bad at all here, and just sticking to that ground game. Again, I just said last time, waiting for them to go through the air. I don't think they're going to have to, at least not early on, until the Patricians challenge them here on the ground.
2nd down and 3 from the 32. Under 12 minutes to play, first quarter. PAFL Tier 2 opening round action between the Patricians and Bobcats. Slot receiver goes in motion. They'll pitch it to him, trying to turn the corner. Broke 1 tackle and got thrown down at the 27-yard line. That is Ron Brown. Slot to the right. First time they didn't run it from the running back spot, but still kept it on the ground.
And what a great read there by 23 for the Patricians, just staying right on top of him. You said he dodged 1 tackle, wasn't much there, but he's kept on his man, just kept it laser focused and didn't let him get too far. This is very different here than what we've been seeing. They didn't get any gain on that.
So, yeah, it is Going to be 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. That tackle, Anthony Harris, the former LeBray Viking. Trips to the right, one to the left. Green to throw it for the first time. Steps up in the pocket. Going to take a one-on-one shot downfield, and that is incomplete. Isaac Coker had a good game in coverage last week against the Cobras there, and that pass sailed over the head of everyone and out of bounds.
Very deep there on his throw. Looked like it went right out of bounds when it did land, but even if it had stayed a little bit further in, great coverage there. You had about 3 Patricians just surrounding that receiver. I don't think they were going to let that one land anyways.
And that was good defense in the fact that run, your secondary kind of starts creeping up in the box. They try to take a shot over the top, and it wasn't there. 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line. 11:06 to play in the opening quarter. Again, trips right, single receiver left side. They run it with Jackson, who broke an ankle tackle. But then 3 or 4 Patricians there to make the stop, led by 24, Mark Greyer. There to make the tackle. Greyer, one of the few not Youngstown area. He played at Mountain Point High School outside of Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, you look at these rosters here, especially here for our Patricians, a lot of local guys, Mineral Ridge, Austintown, just stuff from all over the region. Then you got that one kid from Arizona, which just kind of threw me off when I was looking at the roster, just saying, where did he come from? Well, obviously Arizona.
Played very well this season for the Patricians. Green to throw it. Time, man wide open underneath, and that ball sailed and incomplete. Looking for Kyrie Dennis. This is going to bring up 4th down. Just about 9 yards to go for the Bobcats.
And you can't really blame Dennis for that one either. The ball was over his head, had to kind of jump up a little bit, and just kind of looked like he was doing the YMCA dance a little bit, just trying to catch it. Just no luck there.
So it is 4th down. Just about 9 yards to go on the ball spotted around the 27-yard line. So it is 4th down. Steel City going to leave that highly rated offense out there on the field.
Well, you can't really kick this one away, and you're not really within field goal range, so you got to go for it here.
Could have put 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Green has a single back with him in the backfield. He'll drop the throw. 3-step drop. Timing. Has a man open, overshoots again. Ron Brown, number 3, and it didn't look good early, but the Patricians find a way to get a stop and get the ball back.
Yeah, well, that ground running game there was very good for these Bobcats, but as soon as they started to take to the air, well, I said I was curious. Well, we got our answer here. 2 in a row, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, both well over the receiver's hands.
You know, Green seemed to have a little bit of happy feet where he's not quite set in the pocket, and when that happens, the ball's been sailing on him.
That's just a lot of confidence that you need to gain here. Again, it's a playoff game. You got to give them that, a little bit of benefit of the doubt here, but that was your first drive. Couldn't get anything out of it. Now it's just time to try and make a stop if you're the Bobcats, of course.
Patricians take over on downs. It does not look like Derek DiMattia. That is Corey McElroy getting the start at the quarterback spot. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Jordan Eaton out of Fitch gets the carry on 1st down, dancing in the hole across the 25. Down near the 27-yard line. Going to be no gain on that play and set up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, not much to it there. Nice handoff, but no hole. Good job by the defense here for the Bobcats, just making that stop.
McElroy got to go get the play call from the far sidelines for the Patricians. Right off the highway here in Pittsburgh at Couple Stadium. And they go trips to the left, single receiver right side. Eaton again remains the tailback with Corey McElroy, the former Mineral Ridge Ram. McElroy swings out the tunnel screen to Bates, made the catch, got a block across the 30, and he'll work his way down near the 35-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 8, set up a 3rd down and 2, and Bates got off to such a great start. He had 4 touchdown catches in the first 2 games, and a lot of teams in the league have caught on to one of the better receivers for the Patricians, and his numbers haven't been as good since.
Definitely something to work on here throughout the game. Again, those are stats. That's all of what happened in the past. What can you do in the present? Right now, it's looking pretty good for them.
3rd down and 3 from the 34-yard line. Got to put 2 to the right, 2 to the left. On 3rd down and 3 for the Patricians, going left to right. Run the ball with Eaton, who is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. He'll even lose 1. It'll make it 4th down and 3. And if you're the Patricians, you got to punt the ball away here.
You're too far into your own end. If you make a mistake here, it's a turnover, and they pretty much get to start, that being the Bobcats, right where they left off. So, yeah, of course, kick that one away. Not the best read there, though, on the offense, trying to run the ball. Just took it and tucked and hoped that he got a hole there. And you got to be paying a little closer attention to your defense and how they're forming up.
Train passing through. We saw that last week in Cleveland. We see that in Waynesburg and PAC football action. And, well, we got our first flag of the game. That is going to be,
looks like against the Patricians,
an illegal substitution foul on the Patricians. They had left the offense out there to play on 4th and 4, but now 4th and close to 8 or 9, they will bring Brett Widener on to punt the football away, wearing number 17.
That's just too bad here. 4th down, only needed 4 yards. I mean, you had a nice gain in between there, but yeah, just couldn't see that realized here. Just a sloppy penalty.
One man coming on late. That is Corey McElroy. So now another player coming on for the Patricians, who have had some substitution issues the last couple of weeks. Check that. That looks like is that Graham? Now we've got another penalty flag thrown. And that's another illegal substitution penalty on the Patricians. So back them up 5 more. And this will set up a 4th down and long. And I believe, is that Zier Graham out there punting, number 10? Snap back to whoever it is. That is Graham, who got the kick away. And that ball's picked up on a bounce at the 45-yard line on a risky play by the returner for Steel City. That's Sean Martin, number 14. And we've exchanged possessions with the 7:47 mark to go in this opening quarter. And it's been all defense, just like it was the first time these two teams met up.
On that kick there, though, number 36 for the Patrician there, and Landon Bates did a great job reaching out with his left hand and just getting a hold of that ankle. And you said ankle breaker. I think that's an ankle just smasher right there, just holding on to him, making sure he doesn't get through. Great effort there on defense. Like you just said, it's been a defensive game between both of these two teams. So far, so good there if you're a fan of the defense.
Neither one of these teams have scored a point in regulation against each other so far this year. Assume that will change at some point today.
Well, that's an assumption.
Well, either we're going to be that or we're going to be here for a long time. Snap back to the quarterback. That is Green, who hands it off on 1st down. That is a big chunk of yards across the 40.
Hold tight, though. Flag just came out.
That flag is right where the tackle was made, at the 37-yard line. Was a new back in there. Looked like Adams. Like a 216s on the roster for the Bobcats. That's either Des Pitts or Ramon Adams. And that penalty is going to go face mask defensively on the Patricians. So tack 15 more on at the end of the run, and Steel City in good position right outside the 20 at about the 22-yard line with exactly 7.5 to play in this opening quarter.
Be interested to see if they've learned their lesson with the last time they were in this position. Just keep the ball on the ground.
2 receivers going to go to the left side. Pitch it to the tailback, trying to turn the corner. Got a nice block. Bounced off the tackle by Harris and got stood up at the 19-yard line. That's Adams on the carry. And a good gain on 1st down for Steel City.
Just able to cut it to the left there. Saw a couple of defenders trying to get in there, slipping and falling there for the Patricians. Just left enough space there. Got to make sure that you're keeping track of where your feet are as well. Make sure that you're not stepping on somebody else's.
Patricians play their home games at the old Jackson Milton Stadium in North Jackson, so they typically play their home games on grass, on turf here this afternoon. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for Steel City. The Bobcats at the Patricians' 19-yard line. Running back going to move from the right to the left side of quarterback Jaquan Green. Now he'll go to the slot to the left side. Green to throw. Stepping up in the pocket, running past Mark Grier, who's there to reach from behind and pull him down. and bring up third down after a gain of about 2, setting up third and close to 6 to play. And we've got a player down for the Patricians. And I do believe, unfortunately, that might be George Freeman Jr., number 2. And good to see George pop up and head back to the Patrician sideline. George was living in the backfield the last time these two teams played. Had 4 sacks coming from that edge position.
Just trying to come in and be a part of it a little bit more here. And, well, it could have ended in a disaster, but, well, lucky for everybody here, was able to just pop right back up like you said. Coach is coming out just to double check, and now it looks like they're going to make a sub this time, and this time it looks like it's a legal sub as well.
Right, so George going to head to the sidelines, held up play momentarily, so he'll have to check out for at least 1 snap. Bobcats trying to take advantage of that. They huddled up quickly. Now they will come to the line of scrimmage, and that is a big offensive line for Steel City.
And I don't think you mean that just by the size, but the size of the players themselves. There are some massive guys out there. That's intimidating.
That's why they want to run the football. They will on third down. And that is going to be right up the middle, down to the 10-yard line, and that is going to be a first down for Steel City. First and goal from the 10-yard line.
I mean, right on that 10-yard line. Good run. Again, just using that size of your offensive line, pardon me. Wow.
It looks like, I believe 16 is Ramon Adams. Well, he's actually checked out now after that run, and they've gone back to Maurice Dowsall, who started this game. He's going to get the carry, counter play off the left side, and Dowsall going to be down just shy of the 5-yard line.
Helmet came off as well.
See who lost their hat in there. Someone's going to have to check out for a play.
Looked like that was Dowsall. Yes, sir.
He will come to the sidelines. We'll see who they're going to bring in. It'll be Keith Jackson, the running back, to take over for Dowsall, who lost the helmet.
So got 4 minutes and 42 seconds and counting here left in the first quarter of play. This Pittsburgh team inching closer to that end zone.
Green going to have Keith Jackson to his left. Going to put 2 receivers to the left side of the formation. Give it to Green, and Green got tripped up and fell forward for about another yard. It's going to bring up third and a goal from the 4-yard line. And looked like he had clear sailing to the left, but one of the Patricians just reached out and got enough of him to knock him down after a 1-yard gain.
Do whatever you can there. Put your body on the line. Trip your player up. This isn't hockey. It's free game to do that. Go after him.
Green to the sidelines. Dowsall will check back in. So it's going to be third and a goal from the 4-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play, opening quarter, no score. Looks like Royster to the sidelines. Green takes the snap, trying to follow that big offensive line, looking for the end zone. That is a touchdown run for Jaquan Green. 3:46 to go in this opening quarter. So Green in from 4 yards out. And we'll see what the Bobcats elect to do, whether they're going to try to kick this extra point. They will. They're going to bring on, that's Cariotis, on to kick the football away. Told originally he was wearing 13, but Pete Cariotis is their primary kicker for Steel City.
That's exactly who you want to see in this situation then. Up by 6, try and make it that 7.
High snap, they get it down. Extra point is going to be blocked. That's a live ball. And the Patricians will fall on the football.
There were about 2 or 3 different Patricians who got a finger on it, just couldn't bring it back down. That almost turned into a very deadly turnover. Trying to get 1 point, turned into 6 the other way.
3:36 to play, opening quarter. It is Steel City 6 and the Youngstown Patricians 0. You're listening to PAFL Football on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher? During the
Right back here on Western Reserve Radio 2, 3:36 to play in the opening quarter. Patricians down 6-0 after being forced to punt the football away. The Bobcats took advantage of the short field.
Well, absolutely here. Just got that nice 6 points again, blocked on the extra point, but let's see how the kickoff goes here now. If they can get a little bit further than we saw the Patricians at the start of this game.
Patricians football brought to you by TPI Custom Photo Lab, the official banner supplier of the Youngstown Patricians. Find them online at tpiphoto.com or call 330-793-3456. Cariotis to get his foot into this one from the 35. Short end over end kick. Going to be fielded at the 14, across the 20 to the 25, up the field to the 30, and driven back near the 32-yard line. Tyree Johnson Sr., the former Austintown Fitch Falcon, on the return.
Not a bad job there, though, on the defense. Make sure they don't get too far. Not a bad grab, not a bad kick, all things considered, either. Got it the distance that they pretty much wanted it to, and the Patricians just couldn't bring it far enough over. They start on their own end, but closing in closer to that 50.
If you're tuning in and you say, well, it's a mixture of college and NFL rules, that is true, yes. College rules for overtime, NFL rules for most things, except not using the new NFL kickoff formation just yet.
I'm sure that's on its way, though.
So, looks like Derek DiMattea, the quarterback out of Liberty, to start this second drive. Takes the snap. He's going to run it on first down. That is Jordan Eaton out of Austintown Fitch, plowing forward for a gain of about 2, and brings up second down and 8.
Nice effort there just to get through. Just couldn't get as much as he wanted on that one. Again, that Bobcat defense, we've said it once, we'll say it again, very tough to get by.
Second down and 8. We're going to run it again. This time stood up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. You know, we talked to Coach Harris on the field before the game about how that running game seemed to take a little bit of a step forward last week, but this Steel City, their defensive front isn't that big, but they're quick.
And again, there's a reason why they're in this playoff position. There's a reason why they're hosting this game. It's because they've got a decent team all around here, and they're just showing it right now, early on still in this game against these Patricians.
Corey McElroy at a receiver to the right side, trips to the right, single receiver left side. DiMattea got to work out of the shotgun, stepping up in the pocket, looking to run, lowers the shoulder and hammers his way down to about the 38-yard line. He's going to pick up 5. This is going to bring up 4th down. And what are the Patricians going to do?
Well, they were going to go on 4th down when they were about 4-4 last time. Looks like they're going to go for it again.
Trips to the right side. Single receiver to the left. DiMattea working that hard count, trying to get that easy 5 yards. He'll take the snap. Step up in the pocket, lost the football, loose ball on the turf, and I think Bates may have fallen on it. Now who's got the football? And it is fallen on by one of the Bobcats, and we've got a Patrician player down at the 39-yard line.
You were correct there. He did get a hold of that ball, but fumbled it immediately as he got a hold of it. Looked like he might have taken a knee or a cleat maybe right to the chest. That's where the ball came loose, and the Bobcats able to take full advantage here.
So that might be Bates, who was down on the field. So check that is 35 on the field. That is Andrew Scott, who's the player down on the field. The 5s and 6s and 8s sometimes when the sun hits, hard to see on that Patricians roster.
That and the fact that their numbers are very shiny and almost metallic-y as well. Talk about that sun making it difficult. Try doing it when it's reflecting right off the numbers.
So the player remains down on the field, being tended to by the training staff. Coach Harris was over there to check on that player.
Again, just didn't look like the best situation for him. Again, it looked like he took either a foot or a knee. Hard to tell exactly when he got hurt, but right to the chest.
The way he's walking, that might have been a shot below the belt that he took in that scrum for the football. Either way, good to see him up and walking to the far sidelines gingerly. We've got 1:42 to play in this opening quarter. Steel City with a 6-0 lead. They have forced the first turnover of the day and take over at the Patricians' 36-yard line.
Well, let's see what that defense can do. I've already made one stop after several plays, of course, but couldn't get it that second time. Let's see if third time's the charm.
So 1st and 10, Steel City from the 36-yard line of the Patricians. Twins to each side. Green takes the snap. He'll drop the throw. Time hit as he throws that ball, sailed on him, but able to make the catch as the receiver walking that far sidelines. Mark Breyer there to make the stop. That is Ron Brown, number 3, on the reception for Steel City. And a good gain on first down. That's going to set up 2nd and short.
It looked like he was just over the line when he caught it. Maybe the referees didn't quite catch it. We have a much better vantage point from up here, of course.
So 2nd down. Green to throw it again. Pressured, hit in the backfield, and sacked in coming up. That's George Freeman. But there's a flag on the field as well.
Right before the sack was made, that flag came right out of the pocket there of our closer sideline official, wondering what they saw.
So that's going to be offside on the Patricians defense. That'll give them the easy first down. 3rd penalty of the day on Youngstown. Gives Steel City the first down.
Has not been their cleanest game here today. You can say that for certain. Something to tighten up here after this final minute plus here clears off the clock. They get a chance to talk on that sideline before the second.
1st and 10 from the Patricians' 23-yard line. Twins to each side. Going to run it on first down, bouncing it to the outside, and then evading an initial tackle, staying on his feet. Flag on the play and diving down to the 1-yard line. Maurice Dowswell. And I think we might get a face mask penalty added on to the end of this run from where the flag was thrown.
They're spotting him at the 2-yard line as well, so that'll get him about half that distance. If that's the case, of course.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. So we'll move the ball from the 2 to the 1. That half distance sets up Steel City 1st and goal. 38 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Now, you said earlier we might and probably will be seeing our first touchdown, first score in regulation. Well, you already made me bite my tongue when I said, well, we'll have to wait and see. We might be seeing 2 in 1 quarter.
Maybe we will see that big offensive line run the football this short field. Dowswell is the tailback, about 2 yards deep now behind Green. He's going to get the handoff, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a 2-yard touchdown run. Dowswell lost his hat again, so he'll have to check out, not part of the special teams unit, and Kariotis will come on to attempt the extra point.
Well, it wasn't that hard there. Again, getting that extra yard made it a little bit easier, of course, though from 2 yards out, I still think that they had that. It's a lot of confidence now, especially after scoring your second touchdown.
So Kariotis will come on to attempt the extra point. One man down. They will bring Keith Jackson onto the field. So Kariotis to line up. Ball spotted at the 10. So the 20-yard extra point coming up. Snap and hold are good, and this time the extra point is line drived up and through. So 10 seconds to go in this opening quarter. It's now a 13-0 lead for Steel City. We'll keep it here with only 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And this is the time now, this Patricians offense, down by 13, they got to get going.
Well, you said it there. Definitely need to get going. You don't want to get down by a lot more. They've almost scored, that being the Pittsburgh Sea Cobras here. They've almost scored what they scored in their last game in double overtime here in just the first quarter alone. So definitely need to regroup here once that clock goes off and try and figure out what the heck is going on here and see if Coach can maybe say the magic words to really pump up his team.
You know, DiMattia did a lot throwing the football deep last week when he saw some time. But that last drive didn't really have a lot of time. He was stepping up in the pocket, really wasn't able to look downfield. just try to escape and get some yards on the play. So we'll see what they can do in this next possession. Just 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. You mentioned it when we were walking around the facility at Riverhound Stadium, not too far from here as well, PNC Park.
Pittsburgh definitely loves their sports here, especially the pro level.
Cariotis to kick, twin returners back deep at about the 15-yard line. Off the side of this foot, popped up kick across the 35 to the 40, down near the 42-yard line. Let's see, it's Toby Williams Sr. on the return, and 5 seconds to go in the quarter, and absolutely, Matt, have to take advantage of this short field down by 13.
See how much shorter you can make it before that 5 seconds completely runs off and you get taken down. I'm not sure 100% here how they want to go about this, though. Running game hasn't been the strongest. They've been eaten up almost every single time. Do they try and go through the air just to see if they can go a little further here right before we get to the second quarter? There's a good chance here, and they're trying to think that through right now in their huddle.
See who breaks that huddle at the quarterback spot. They've gone back to Corey McElroy, the former Middle Ridge Ram. He's going to put Bates and Royster to the right. That'll be Johnson and also Christopher McCullough to the left side. McElroy to throw, stepping up in the pocket. Made the decision to run across the 45, cuts back 50, down near the 49-yard line. Where are they going to spot this football?
Looks like just over the 50 here. But either way, great gain to end the first quarter of action.
After one, Steel City 13 and the Youngstown Patricians 0 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Flip sides of the field, and now the Patricians right to left here in quarter number 2 as they will start with the ball at midfield. And we'll let the chains get caught up as they were taking a break in between quarters, just like the rest of us.
You know, great spot here. We've got these hillside homes, and there's an apartment that looks like right over the visiting stand. We got a couple folks watching for free today. What a great place right here.
Dropping to throw. That ball sailed on Corey McElroy, was almost deflected, and will luckily harmlessly fall to the turf and bring up a second down and 10.
That was Ronald Shields who was able to get a hand in there. I think he just got a finger on that one just to be able to get it over the head there, just to redirect it over the hands. They're the receiver for the Patricians. Man, this defense is continuing to show us what they can do, exactly why they're here.
So second and 10 from midfield. 14:57 underway here in the second quarter. Don't forget, coming up, we'll join in progress as the Cleveland Cobras are going to be hosting round one of the Tier 2 PAFL playoffs. And they hand the football to Jordan Eaton, who danced in the hole, fell forward for one. It'll bring up a long third down and 9.
So that running game is continuing to be a struggle here for the Patricians. Third down and long, 3rd and 9, like you just said. See if they decide to go through the air this time. See if they can maybe get a little luckier here, maybe not get that finger in the way like we saw last time.
3rd and 9 from the 49. Corey McElroy at the quarterback spot for this series.
But again, what a nice spot this is here, just again with those houses. I mean, imagine being able to just go out after work and just go on your deck and watch some football.
Sounds like a perfect afternoon for me.
I know, that sounds great. Maybe make it soccer for me, but either way.
Single receiver to the right, trips to the left side on 3rd and 9. McElroy to throw. Steps up in the pocket, avoids the rush, eyes downfield. Got a block and dives forward near the 40-yard line. Think that's going to be a first. Yep, they'll move the chains. First down on the ground by Corey McElroy.
Chains are hesitating. I think the referee is pointing first down, but give him a second here to make sure that's right. His knee might have gone down just an inch beforehand. We'll see how particular they want to be.
A couple weeks back, we had a game. It's the 10th year I've called semi-pro football and had the first measurement I had ever seen at this level. So it is usually eyeballed up rather than let's bring out the chains and slow the game down.
More so saying how particular do they want to be with just their eyesight alone.
McElroy rolling right, now sets in the pocket, had a man out there, went through the hands of Bates into the hands of Royster, and both unable to pull that football down and incomplete.
That's too bad. It seemed like it was made Cater right there, 4-5. Just wow. What a rocket right through, past the initial intended target, and still couldn't get it on the rebound.
2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Clock continuing to run. 13-0, Steel City leading the Youngstown Patricians. This is a win or go home situation here in round 1 of the Tier 2 playoffs. Patricians come to the line of scrimmage to put receiver to the right, wing to the right, tight end, and 2 to the left. McElroy going to hand the ball off to Eaton, who cut back, slashing across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Again, only able to pick up 1 yard, and it's 3rd and 9.
Now, we've been here before. We'll see if they can create some magic again. Maybe this time not with the quarterback going through with it, but you never know. You never know. Just do what works for you. Sometimes you have to make something out of nothing.
McElroy's picked up 2 first downs on the ground on this drive. We go under 12 minutes to play here in the half.
Taking a while there to figure out exactly what they want to do. Again, 3rd down and long. It's not easy to come up with a play, especially against a defense that's already proving to be difficult to get by.
Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. That's Landon Bates, the former Hubbard Eagle. McElroy takes the snap, will roll to the right. Got a block from Eaton, has time to throw, has a man open, made the catch, held on at the 21-yard line. Let's see, that's Christopher McCullough on the reception, number 15, and that time McElroy put that ball right on the numbers.
Definitely a scramble there by the quarterback as well. That pocket did not exist. Had to run to his right, and just a rocket right out there, like you said, to that 21-yard line. Found his man. What an effort. What a play.
So there's a penalty on the defense that they will decline and take that first down. So spot the ball at the 22, 1st and 10. Again, trips to the right. Single receiver Landon Bates with room to run as their single coverage to that left side. McElroy takes the snap, ran right back into his hands, and he's going to be sacked all the way back at the 37-yard line. Luckily, McElroy held on to that snap, but when he looked up, there was about 3 black, yellow, and blue jerseys there to put him on the turf.
Just unfortunate there. Again, got to be aware of everything, not just where your feet are, but where that ball's going. Your snapper's just got to be able to not get it up above the head there. High is the game, but not that high.
So put the ball all the way back at the 37. That'll make it 2nd and Youngstown, 2nd and 25 from the 37-yard line.
That's a tall mountain here to climb. I would have to imagine we're going to see someplace through the air here.
Patricians, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left side, tight end on the line to the left. McElroy takes the snap, has time, swings it out into the flat a little too soon, and that ball batted away, almost intercepted by Mills. Luckily for the Patricians, that'll fall harmlessly to the turf.
It's almost like he was looking at his sideline, thought he saw that white jersey open. It wasn't as close as he thought, and almost went right into the hands of one of these dark jerseys. Whew, that was dangerous.
3rd and 25 from the 37-yard line. Tyree Johnson, senior, the former Austintown Fitch Falcon. There's a bunch of them on this Patricians roster, brings the play in. So it's McCullough, Johnson senior, and Royster to the right. Bates singled up to the left side. Harris at the tight end spot. Snap back to McElroy, turns it over. Has a defender in his face, able to avoid the first runner, and then get back near the line of scrimmage at the 37-yard line, but it's going to bring up 4th down, and Corey McElroy a little slow. It is now not getting up off the turf at the 39.
I knew when they brought him back it wasn't going to be easy here, and well, now you got a player who's a little dazed right now and taking his time. Worse getting worse out there.
McElroy up and will make his way to the sideline, so he'll have to check out for one play. Looks like Mark Grier going to come on and punt the football away. Back deep for Steel City. It's Savon Salter, number 13. And Salter going to drop inside his own 10-yard line near the 5. High snap back to Grier and gets this kick away. That's going to be a hop to the 2-yard line. And right there, the Patrician special teams to hold on after he got drug a couple of yards. Holding on for that tackle looked like Daniel Hill. And he carried the defender all the way out near the 6-yard line.
I don't know if I've ever seen that happen before, where somebody gets grabbed by the ankle, the receiver gets grabbed by the ankle and is able to hop an extra yard to just try and make it a little bit better, especially that far down. Usually they go straight down, but wow, that's some persistence right there.
We didn't get to mention it, a multi-purpose field here in Pittsburgh for the public schools, lined for soccer, lined for lacrosse, which is continuing to grow and grow as a popular sport, especially here in Western Pennsylvania.
Maybe some field hockey as well. There's also the track around.
Called my first lacrosse game with Jim earlier this year. Good thing he knew what he was talking about. I talked a lot about the weather.
I know a little bit just working on the ESPN Plus broadcast for Youngstown State as a student, but there's still so much. If you put me out there, I'd just be like you talking about how pretty it is out here.
Right, I'll give you a pass, shot, goal. There, I'm done. 1st and 10 for Steel City from their 7-yard line. Green's gone all the way. He'll hand it off on 1st down. Tailback, quick move in the hole, and he's all the way out to the 15-yard line. Try and get you a number. That is, again, that's 16 for Steel City. Looks like Adams on the carry. Right back to it. Green to throw the football. Downfield ball intercepted by the Patricians. Brought back 10-5 touchdown. And the Patricians are on the board. That is number 21 for Youngstown, Marshall Mays, on the pick 6. And Youngstown right back in this one with 8:02 to play in the half.
Took that one about, looks like maybe 16 yards as well, just from the spot of where he intercepted. Wow. Saw one big blunder there by the Bobcats. They haven't done too many things like that. Well, nothing like that, obviously, yet in this game. But wow, an interception, great read there by 2-1 for the Patricians to get them on the board. Sometimes that's how you got to do it here. And if you thought this game was going to be over quick, they're saying something else out there.
So the Patricians, who do not have the services of David Harbaugh today, see what they elect to do. That's Derek DiMattia wearing 4 today instead of the 9 he wore last week. Also going to bring out, looks like a Trayvon Parchman Sr. So they may elect to just go for 2, and that's what it looks like they will do.
Well, when you've got those key players, MIA, why not? And you know what? Be greedy here, and you can get that extra point that they lost, that being the Bobcats earlier, right
now,
here.
2 flags come out.
Maybe not.
Illegal substitution on the kicking team. Going to back them up 5 yards. And we'll see if they leave the offense out there or elect to kick. I believe that is the 3rd illegal substitution penalty we've seen in the first half.
Third or fourth?
Dave says 4.
4th seems actually a little more correct here. I agree with Dave.
Always the naysayer. Got to go with 1 extra.
Either way, though, that's starting to get a little ridiculous out there. Just got to make sure that you're telling the referees what's going on. You're doing it correctly.
So they will keep the offense out on the field. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Jordan Eaton to the right of Derek DiMatteo, the quarterback. Takes the snap. Going to fire the fade for the corner for Bates, who reached out. Did he hold on? Yes, he did. He drug the foot for 2, and Youngstown is right back in this one. And that 2-point conversion is good.
In that corner by the pylon. Bobcats arguing that he stepped out. It's mighty close, but no replay at this level. If you did, you'd be asking for Dave's iPad view from all the way up here. That's a good 2-point play. Wow.
And the official, the work the sidelines that made that call was about 13 yards upfield, but in this case, it went in our favor, so no complaints. So 8:02 to play here in the first half. It is 13-8 now in favor of Steel City, and a little momentum shifting to the Patrician sideline.
Just a little bit here. They got to keep it going with this defense. Though. You've got to make sure you get these stops. You can't let them go little by little, inch by inch like they were in that first quarter. You got to make sure that they're covered well. You know that you can stop their run game. Now make sure that you're keeping an eye on the sky. You did it well last time. Do it again.
A lot of air under that throw for Bates on the fade in the corner, and most times the Patricians are going to like that matchup, whoever is with Landon Bates.
Still got 8 minutes and 2 seconds left before halftime. That's still a lot of time. Got to try and get a stop as well.
When we were talking to Coach Harris before the game, was basically like, we got an amazing player. I don't know how we found him, how he made it through the cracks. That kick is muffed and short across the 30, 35, 40, 45, and spun down near the 47-yard line. On the return for Steel City, that's Salter, number 13, and now the Bobcats will have it with just under 8 minutes to play. And both teams have all 3 of their timeouts. It's somebody on the sidelines not very happy.
That's their head coach out there, as we heard him before in pregame as well. He wants to make sure that they're, well, let's just say waking up, staying awake, making sure that they're paying attention.
So 1st and 10 for Steel City from their 47-yard line. So they will break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. 51, 72, 74, 54, 57. That is a mammoth offensive line for Steel City.
Especially 51 out there, and Will Jones and Micah McConnell, 72. Wow.
1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Let's see who's in there at the quarterback spot now for Steel City. Takes the snap. They're going to run it. Ball's loose on the turf, picked up by the Patricians, and they'll get it down to the 38-yard line. Coming out of there with the loose ball, that's Zacchaeus Warfield, number 12. And when Steel City made a change at quarterback, the exchange was not clean. And Youngstown back in business once again.
And that all starts there with Freeman able to get the tackle and get that ball loose, just taking him out, again, by the ankles. Couldn't hold on as he touched the ground, that being number 16 there for the Bobcats. And like you just said, just a great pickup there. Wow, what an effort there, and what a great job by Warfield just to keep his eyes and his head up. I think that's exactly what their coach was asking for.
A lot of energy on that Patrician sideline as they come back onto the field offensively with Derek DiMatteo at the quarterback spot.
A lot of energy while they listened to their coach. They woke up. Wow. 2 turnovers in a row. That's incredible.
Try to take advantage. Good field position once again from Steel City's 39-yard line. 7:49 to play in the half. This time they'll come up, play press coverage on Bates. Royster going to go in motion. Now we've got whistles. And I believe we have a Patricians timeout. So timeout on the field, 7:49 to play in the half. It is Steel City 13, Youngstown 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and CityView Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Off the Youngstown timeout, they will have one receiver to the right and trips to the left side. DiMattea drops the throw. Time, fires middle, ball deflected and intercepted right back by Steel City. That went off Mark Grier's hands, and they're going to call that a catch
I
or
think
no?
he dropped that. That touched green. Almost said grass, but this is turf out here. I don't think they completed that. That was not as clean as it looked initially.
So Steel City says that's a catch, that's our football, but the umpire working this sidelines will now come over and they will have a little bit of an officials huddle at the 39-yard line.
Well, if they saw what we saw, he definitely dropped that ball. You could see it touch the grass with it not being in somebody's hands, and they landed on top of it. They had it for a moment, but it slipped out.
There's only one official that was in position to make that call. And now what are they going to say?
It looks like it's going to stick here with the Bobcats. They're playing it safe. Referee on the far side pointed over.
They're going to call that a catch, and it'll be Steel City's football.
Like you said, only one referee out there was able to actually see that. Didn't see it as cleanly as he thought, and they just deferred to play it safe. Can't blame him for that.
So Steel City takes over on the turnover. Ball deflected off the hands of Mark Grier and picked off by the Bobcats, who will stay with Brown at the quarterback spot. Trips to the left, single receiver right side. Brown takes the snap. He'll hand it off on first down. Ball carrier got pushed back but broke free down the sidelines. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Steel City takes one play. No flags to take advantage of that touchdown as they are right back on the board. 61 yards for the score.
Well, played it safe here, and they were able to take full advantage here. You got to be able to take advantage of these gifts when they're given to you as well. What an effort, what a run. Again, like you said, push back. I thought he was going to get taken out by the ankles again. Just couldn't get a hold of it, and nobody could catch him after that. Wide side, it was too late. He was long gone.
Once he got to the edge, he was able to get to the outside and score the touchdown. So they take advantage of the turnover. And now we'll come out for Cariotis for the extra point. So he'll line up for the extra point. Wobbly kick is up, and it is true. Just like that, the Bobcats take back over a momentum. 7:29 to play here in the half. Steel City 20, Youngstown 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Right back here with 7:29 to play from Couple Stadium in Pittsburgh, home of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. And after Youngstown momentarily stole the momentum away, an interception at a 61-yard run, and Steel City has taken it right back, leading 20-8.
Good effort there again. Maybe a little bit of a gift, maybe not. Maybe I just missaw what happened, but again, just taking advantage here on that turnover. That was 100% granted to them. Wow, just good effort there.
Cariotis gets his foot into this one. Going to take a hop, split the two returners, and be picked up near the goal line. Across the 15, outside to the 20. Sidesteps 25, down the sidelines 35, and going out of bounds. And that is for the Patricians. Christopher McCullough dance it down the sidelines for a big return.
Twinkle Toes putting it on display right there on the line, just not stepping over. Took somebody shoving him out right there. What a great effort.
McCullough has been a weapon in the pass game, that time in the return game for the Patricians, who will have pretty good field position to begin this drive. 7:16 to go in the half. Youngstown with a pair of timeouts remaining. Steel City has all three of theirs.
I will be interested to see how they use those timeouts like you just brought up here moving forward. Again, we saw one taken earlier by Youngstown. All three here, though, by the team that's on top. That means if they want to really slow things down here and take control of this game, if Youngstown starts to find some momentum, they can try and kill it by using those timeouts. I mean, that's just a luxury for them to have right there.
Twins and Guardians tied up at 4 as they play in the 6th inning. Another big hit from Jose Ramirez, who continued to break records yesterday. We'll get you that update after the play. Trips to the right, single receiver Bates, who's being pressed coverage to the left side. Bring a receiver in tight to the right. They will run it on first down. And that looked like Miguel Burgess getting the carry, number 8. We'll see as they unpile. That is Burgess getting his first carry, now in there at the quarterback spot. So looks like Burgess and DiMatteo are both out there. So you never know what could happen when you got two quarterbacks in the backfield.
Could be a blessing, could be a curse. And the curse could be, of course, if you got both out there and something happens to one or both of them. So that's definitely a risk to take, but a risk worth taking when you're in a playoff game and everything is on the line.
Trips to the right, single receiver again, Bates. Pressed to the left side. DiMatteo, the quarterback. Takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, looks to throw, and he's going to be sacked back near the 35-yard line. Devontae Grace coming up from his D-line spot to make that tackle for a loss, and Patricians going in the wrong direction the last two plays.
Grace didn't even give him a chance. He just jumped on him like it was a jump scare from Five Nights at Freddy's or something right there. Wow. Just on top of him.
So Bates will come to the sidelines. Checking in is Tyree Johnson Sr. from Austintown Fitch. We will see the Falcons host the Ursuline Irish coming up in a few weeks for high school football on Western Reserve Radio 2.
That'll be a really fun game right there.
3rd and 16 from the 37-yard line. DiMatteo to throw. Backside pressure, hit as he throws, ball popped in the air and falls incomplete as Raphael Hurd couldn't get a hand on the football, and it's going to bring up 4th down and long. And we've talked about it off and on a little bit. Excited, we've mentioned it a few times. Had a chance to go to Columbus for the OHSAA broadcasters meeting up there with the voice of the Cavaliers, Tim Alcorn. who is going to join Dave Clark and I for that call. And, of course, Mr. Alcorn be handling the play-by-play duties that night.
What a great person right there, though. There's just so much insight there and just so many great stories that he wanted to tell us. Couldn't fit it in the entire time. But, man, if we could get stuck in a room like you're about to be here soon, the amount of questions I'd ask.
High snap, one-handed by Mark Grier, and gets the kick away, and this will take a Patricians roll. Picked up on the run, broke a tackle across the 35-45, and then whacked out of bounds right in front of the Steel City bench, and they're asking for a flag that does not come out. That is the tackle by Zeke Graham out of Warren Harding.
And it was Deevy's Pitts there on the carry as well, just doing a good job bringing it in. Again, just a little too close there to that sideline there for the Steel City. Seemed to get a little excited there when they saw their man coming right towards them.
It's been a little bit risky with playing those kick returns off of the hop. That one turned into a pretty decent return, but it'll make your coach's heart stop for a moment when you do that.
I think I see a coach over there just letting them know right now on the sideline as well. Just, hey, let it bounce. We'll take care of business here, especially when you're up so comfortably in this game. No need to take that risk, not at this moment.
So Steel City takes over at midfield. They've got a trio of timeouts, 5:12 to play in this first half. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left side. Brown remains the quarterback with the tailback next to him and Keith Jackson. Brown to throw it, swings out the screen. That pass off the hands of the intended target. It'll fall to the turf. I believe, is that a flag?
No, that looks like that was just one of the towels that comes right.
No yellow towels, fellas.
No.
that doesn't work. Like, we did a game a couple weeks ago with yellow shoes. There needs to be regulations. No towels,
There are
no
a couple
shoes.
of guys out here on the Pittsburgh side with yellow shoes and socks. Number 21 for them out there. I'm sure we'll see him on the defensive side of things. Wearing all that yellow down there, Josh Dyer. That could definitely get a little risky on our end.
Second down and 10. Trips left. Single receiver right side. Brown is the quarterback. Takes the snap and a run. The option pitched it back. No one was home, but one of the Bobcats there to fall on it. That's Trayvon Lewis, 57 from the O-line. And that was it was pitched back to no one.
I mean, I'm not sure what they were thinking there. I'm not sure if I can really speak too much on that other than the fact that, pitched back, nobody was home, nobody was ready. I would assume just a miscommunication right there on just what the play was going to be. They're lucky that he was there, that being Lewis, because you saw one Patrician, hard to tell who it was because his number was in the grass. Almost got a hold of it, but landed awkwardly on the wrong side.
3rd and 15, back to the 42. 2 to the right, 2 to the left side. Brown, the quarterback, single back in the backfield. That's Dowswell. Brown to throw it. Deep drop. Steps up in the pocket. Eyes downfield. Has a man out there wide open, and he dropped the football at the 15-yard line, and the pass falls incomplete.
Couldn't even tell you who that is. His hair's covering the back number. His front one's tucked up so tight. It's either 5 or 6, but either way, that's just unfortunate there for them. A good effort, though, trying to throw wide open, but once again, that ball is way over the hands of the intended receiver.
So that pass will drop incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and Steel City is going to punt the football away.
That was Tyree Mills. You see the number 6 on his shoulder patch there as he got close to us, who almost took that ball in.
So the Patricians escape a busted coverage. And let's see, Isaac Coker back deep along with Darian Owens, I believe. Try and get you a number. That's not Owens. That might be Jordan Eaton back to return. Steel City's one man down. They will sprint on Deshaun Butler, number 9. So snap coming to Cariotis, right to him, shoulder high, and Breyer almost got that one. And Eaton makes the catch at the 15, turns on the corner at the 25-30, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds near the 32-yard line, and took a sprint across the track and almost all the way to the visiting sidelines. They've got a lot of room to fill this place for the Pittsburgh Public School League.
I mean, plenty of games, I'm sure, played here, though, on a nightly basis. Again, like you said, you got pretty much every single field sport that isn't baseball or softball being played right here on this field for all of them, if they so choose. I'm not sure how all the public schools fare when it comes to room to be able to play and put fields down. I would assume pretty much all of them are right here.
And if you wanted to, you could practice baseball or softball on the turf.
Oh, you could. You could treat this like, I believe that's Uni, where they play softball on their turf in their dome stadium. That's college, Division I college out there.
The Uni Dome, the Hall of Horrors for Youngstown State football. Been
Don't
about
remind me.
712 years since they've won a game there. Okay.
I don't even think you're exaggerating.
No. They've been playing football more than any other college in the history of sport. DiMattia back at the quarterback spot. Gonna put a diamond formation to the left, and McCullough singled up to the right side. Gonna set up that screen, wobbly ball off the hands of Corey McElroy. Steel City picks it up. They say that's a lateral, and so do the officials. That is a touchdown for Steel City. So they say the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. So they call that a lateral, and that is a touchdown for Steel City. And when you've got an official observer that is also the scoreboard operator, he says yes, so we will agree. And it is now 26-8 in favor of Steel City, pending the extra point.
About 30 yards there, too. Wow. Well, there's a reason why they're out there playing and you and I aren't, because I would not have clocked that right there. I would have just let the play die.
So heads up play by Steel City, whose lead is now 26-8. And
this quarter started so well, though, again, with the 8 points here for Youngstown. Seemed like all the momentum was going their way. Another interception went their way, and then, that one interception again that I think wasn't an interception. I think he dropped the ball. It was really what turned the tide back in favor here of this Pittsburgh team, and they've just been running away with it.
So, don't see the kicker on the field. Cariotis for Steel City. He's actually down here below us, so they're going to keep the offense on the field, try to pick up that point they lost.
That's what I was just about to say. I think they're trying to get it back here, get it to a nice even 28, go up by 20 points here. What they're hoping is for halftime.
So 26-8, 2-point attempt coming up for Steel City with 3:40 to play here in this first half of action.
Unless they've got a big sneaky surprise in store, which they could as well. And you never know what any of these teams are going to try and do here.
Patricians sprinting a man onto the field. It looks like McCullough.
Maybe just try and draw that offside and get a little bit closer here for a kick. You never know. Everybody out there and accounted for?
I was just counting the total men in attendance. So the 2-point attempt coming up.
Make sure you count the guy on the bridge.
Oh, yeah, we got a fan up on the bridge as well. And they were going to run that ball in with number 3. That is Ron Brown, who runs it in for the 2-point conversion.
Well, definitely got that point back here, so now it's as if that block just never happened. So you can definitely tell they're feeling a little annoyed after that one here. Wanted to go here.
3:40 to play in the half. It is Steel City 28, Youngstown 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Veterans. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Patricians with quite the hill to climb now, trailing by 20 at 28-8. Don't forget, if you have not yet, make sure to download the iMedia One app for iOS or Android. Download that now. All 3 channels available to you there. Western Reserve Radio 1, Western Reserve Radio 2, and also City View Sportscast. So Cariotis ready to kick the football back to Youngstown. And they go onside. High bounce. Steel City looking for the football. Live ball still, and I think Steel City has come up with that football, and they have. So up 20, Steel City goes onside and recovers the football.
And you almost think that's a given that you're going to get it here usually when that happens, but that ball was bouncing high off the rubber turf here, and that was still anybody's ball right before it got to that line right there by the Patricians sideline. Wow.
A little surprising to elect for the onside kick, but give credit to Cariotis, who executed that about as perfectly as you could do.
About as perfectly, with a little bit of luck sprinkled in there, I'd say.
So Steel City back with the football, and 3:36 to play in the half.
Wow, these trains just love to come by here. It's the exact same direction. You'd think they'd be coming back the other way. Got these trains on a schedule, huh?
Saw one last week in Cleveland. Don't forget, it's the Rapids and Cobras. That game will kick off in about 40 minutes over on Western Reserve Radio 1. We will join that broadcast in progress at the conclusion of this one. Matt Craven producing that game for Jim Craven and Coach Bob Gessler. No Matt today?
Nah, you're losing your edge here. You said Muff earlier, now you're getting the wrong guys.
You know what?
Jim's just not happy with you today.
No, I think I might get a reprimand in my email come Monday morning.
Your paycheck will come with a red card.
Don't know what this discussion is here. You've been a bad announcer. You're off till high school football season, which is what? Today is the second?
Well, he's threatening you with a good time then, huh?
I can't wait for the start of the high school season. Long conversation between the referee, a second official, Coach Harris asking some questions.
My assumption is here that, and this is the only plausible thing that could be, is that the ball went over the line before they got a hold of it and then brought it back into play. So that's what my assumption is here, is that Youngstown's arguing that it went out of play and it should be their ball. Which is why you would be seeing such a long and lengthy argument here and why you're seeing Coach come out now marching on the field to defend his team.
Well, looks like whether he liked or did not like what he heard, he is turned away. And is this the Steel City offense coming to the sidelines? It looks like they are.
I think that they're just trying to separate the teams before anything gets too heated out there. Just send them back to their sidelines, talk to their coaches, and get ready for whatever is about to be called here.
I didn't see anyone use a timeout, so they just calling this a hydration break.
Well, now it's almost like we are playing soccer. See that all the time this time of year, tournament plays. I think we saw that during the Gold Cup earlier. When it got hot, we weren't in any of the roof facilities or down in Texas or anything.
So I believe after that extended break, we're now ready to get back to action.
There has not been a single dull moment here in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. This has been a very entertaining game. And, you say that here, it's because, it's hard for us to be able to just say that here on the radio, but for those of you who may be watching on Facebook, the backdrop here, obviously it makes sense since, Mr. Rogers was from Pittsburgh, but still, I think that he nailed it perfectly in his show back then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You've got all the apartments and houses around.
Yeah. You've got the beautiful churches in the hills. Yeah, I mean, just so much. I was looking here and saw that our backs were to downtown. I was thinking, well, we're not going to get much of a view here, but man, I was wrong. This looks a lot better than just looking at a normal downtown of a big city. This just looks great.
Still have an extended delay now. We play with 3:36 to go here in the first half.
By the time they get this done, we could probably go down the street, watch the Steelhounds, I believe, right? No, Riverhounds. I don't know. I was
Steelhounds.
We're talking about the Youngstown, and I'm not even thinking
Steelhounds is the old Youngstown.
I was like,
hockey.
I know I was getting the Hound mixed up here. We could watch a Riverhound game before this game starts back up again. It is Saturday, after all.
Saturdays are for college football, aren't they?
During the summer, they're for professional soccer. Don't know why I was getting mixed up there on Steel and River. I'm not sure how I did that. I'll hang up my headset now. I think I've
multiple teams and multiple sports trying to keep it all sorted. And we've got conversations going on between players of each side that are calm. We've got Corey McElroy being walked to the Patrician sidelines.
I was joking about it, but they are actually home tonight at 7 o'clock. Being the Riverhounds, not Steelhounds.
I think you're going to miss the start of the game. Since we haven't even reached the halfway of this one.
Well, an extended timeout here will do that.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line for the Steel City Bobcats. Brown, the quarterback. 2 receivers short side to the left. Patricians showing pressure. Brown's going to keep it running off that short side. And he's going to get across the 40. Might have got to the 41-yard line. Excuse me, the 39-yard line. So only going to gain a couple.
Yeah, not a huge gain there. Not the best look either. Just good job on the defense staying on top of them here. Pittsburgh didn't even need to burn one of their 3 timeouts remaining here. They got a free icing there as well, but it didn't work out too well, at least not on this initial play.
Now we have the train going the other way.
That's the first time. 4 trains, only 1 going back towards home.
2nd down and 9 from the 40. We go under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Steel City going to put 2 receivers split out to the left side. Single back in the backfield about 3 yards deep behind Ron Brown, the quarterback. Patricians showing pressure. Brown fakes the pitch, rolls to the outside, gonna take a deep shot. Man out there, ball is on the money. Fired downfield and into the hands of D. Reed, the wide receiver. And that is a 40-yard touchdown pass for the Steel City Bobcats, who now make this score 34-8.
Not sure there's anything more than I can say than you just said there to just help describe this. Just took the ball and just chucked it down the field. Man was open. This time, he found his man. Took a few practice attempts earlier in the game, but he finally found it.
It looked like that pass might have been overthrown. We give a lot of credit to D. Reed, the athlete who lines up all over the field for Steel City to turn on the speed, make that catch for the touchdown.
Looks like they're going to be kicking it this time here, so that wasn't something we were going to get used to with that 2-point attempt there. They were just trying to get it back to within a consistent number here for football.
So it looks like Brown will hold, carry Otis on for the extra point. Snap down, extra point on the way, and no good. So 2:27 to play in the half. It is the Steel City Bobcats 34, the Youngstown Patricians 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
2:27 to play here in the first half. It is 34-8 in favor of the Steel City Bobcats. Patricians going to get one more offensive possession here in the first half to try to cut into that lead, as long as it's a traditional kick instead of the onside that we saw earlier.
I mean, they're just keeping us on our toes, aren't they? Don't want you to sit down during this one, trying to keep you entertained. And from an objective standpoint, well, I'd say they're doing that.
Winner of this game will meet the Arctic Bengals, next week in the Tier 2 semifinals. Kick banged into by two Patricians. And coming out of there with the football, that's 27, Darian Owens, who ran right into his teammate Isaac Coker and then took off with the football and brought it back out across the 45-yard line.
Speaking of things I've never seen before in a game, live TV, no matter what, that right there. You see that all the time in baseball when you got two guys going after the ball, but football, they've usually got one guy out there set and ready to receive. That's an oddity for sure.
So Youngstown takes over, first down and 10. And if I am a Pirates outfielder, since we are in Pittsburgh, if O'Neal Cruz ever calls for the ball, he can have it, because I don't want that 6'7" unbelievable athlete running me over.
Get the heck out of the way.
Right. Let that guy make the catch.
I don't need the glory. I still get paid all the same.
Right. Does not matter.
We're all going home with the same multi-million-dollar contracts.
As long as we go home with all the parts in the right spot.
Exactly. That's the next thing.
So first and 10 Patricians from the 45-yard line. They will quickly come to the line of scrimmage. Snap back to Royster, who lined up at the quarterback spot, and he's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there for Ryan Royster. Second down and 10.
It's number 32 there for Pittsburgh. Don't have a 32 on their roster. Don't have a name for him, but lost his helmet on the play, so he's coming off either way. But good effort, though, defensively.
Second down and 10. And took a couple seconds, but
wouldn't be surprised if we see another illegal substitution here.
This
no timeout
is the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Steel City 34, Youngstown 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
To the stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Ryan Royster remains at the quarterback spot for the Patricians. Actually, that is Miguel Burgess now in there at the quarterback spot. Burgess broke a tackle across the 50 and will go out of bounds in Steel City territory near the 49-yard line. And 5'8", all those smaller numbers just kind of get crunched up during the game and not always easy to see.
Now, we've already had that strike against our favor here several times today, so they made it interesting. But what's nice here, at least with the Pittsburgh side, they've got numbers on their shoulders, so once they get close to us, we can get that correct.
Steel City showing blitz as that snap is going to be to Royster, and he's going to get down to the 49-yard line. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 4 for the Patricians.
Got that running clock as well. You're down by a whole bunch. You're going for it. There's no doubt about it.
So 4th and 3. Flag flies. Burgess is going to be stopped shy of the first down at the 49-yard line. Umpire fired that flag in out to the numbers and expects Steel City to decline this penalty and take the football.
Scott, let them discuss here to make sure that they agree on what was called here on our side of the field. Whitecap coming over. Looks like he's about ready to tell us.
So they called that on Steel City. And I believe that should give Youngstown a first down and maintain possession of the football. I think the reprimand list just grew a little longer. I'll have to wait for my post-game report. 4th and 3. Now is 1st and 10 for the Patricians.
Sometimes you just get a little too excited out there, and the refs, well, they're not going to let it slide if it's enough.
So that is Corey McElroy now back in at the quarterback spot. We're down an offensive lineman as well as Andrew DiMatteo checks in. McElroy has Bates open, made the juggling catch, broke a couple of tackles, and he's twisted down near the 20-yard line. Circus catch from Landon Bates for a big gain. That'll stop the clock momentarily to move the chains.
That's how this ball's been moving through the air. Take it. That was beautiful, all things considered. Didn't matter if he didn't have it initially. He came up with it in the end.
Daniel Hill, number 25, out there as a wide receiver inside the trip formation to the right. Burgess underneath had Hill, and he couldn't come up with the football at the 15-yard line. That'll stop the clock with exactly 1 minute to play here in the first half.
And that just shows you how hard it has been through the air here in this game. And that's been the same for both of these two teams. It has not been favorable to try and throw one through the air, whether it be long or short distance.
They'll move trips to the right. Bates single to the left side. McElroy overlooking the defense. Takes the snap. Blitz picked up well. Going to fire a rope downfield, and the safety jumped in front of the intended target, Tyree Johnson Sr., but could not hold on to the football. It'll fall incomplete. Looks like Mills, number 6, who was not able to hold on to that football. And it brings up a 3rd and 10 with 54 seconds to go in the half.
Youngstown coming up very, very lucky on that one. Player just right there. He just threw it into the sea, and Fish almost came up and grabbed it.
So it will be Johnson Sr., McCullough, looks like Marshall Mays, the receivers to the right side. Was looking for Mays initially is McElroy, who found an opening, fired a dart through. Let's see who comes out of there with the football. That's Jordan Eaton, the running back who made the catch, and they're going to give him the first down.
I don't think he was quite there. He was close. I don't think it was close enough. I think you're going to see 4th down and very short here.
So it is 4th and less than the length of the football.
4 inches, or maybe just an inch.
Same look, trips short side. McElroy looking for Bates, who got bumped. There was no flag, and that's a turnover on downs.
Surprised they went through the air when you're that close. All you had to do is stuff it and just move your running back forward. Instead, they decided to go for a riskier play, and they get burned for it.
So the Patricians offense now making their way off the field with 18 seconds to go in the half.
Now slow to get off here, just disappointed in how that whole drive ended there.
One of the officials showing off the arm fired that football from about midfield into the Patricians bench.
Wonder how many of them out there tonight have played football in their past and how recently they've played.
I know how many have played football in this broadcast booth. At least I know 2 of us haven't played.
I was out on the football field every Friday night, but it was not to play football.
That, yes, I can agree with that very much. An integral part of Friday Night Lights, but not the football. So let's see what Steel City elects to do here with just 18 seconds to go in the half. They got single receivers to each side of the formation. And now running through before the snap of the football was Owens.
Not sure exactly what happened there, what prompted that. I'm not sure if it's going to be a foul called or it's a little interesting.
The clock runs.
I think that's it. I think they just wanted to start the clock and get out of here.
That was Micah McConnell exchanging a pleasant conversation with Owens. And did not believe the half could end on a defensive penalty, but I guess that looks like what we're going to have as both teams will head to the sidelines. And we have come to the end of the first half.
This has been an abnormal game, to say the least. There's been a whole lot of things that you just never expected to see in a football game. Semi-pro, amateur, whatever.
At the half, it is Steel City 34, and the Youngstown Patricians 8. You're listening to Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem Sports Talk is on the iMedia One Network, Youngstown, Ohio.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Back at Couples Stadium here in Pittsburgh, PAFL Tier 2 opening round action between the Youngstown Patricians and the Steel City Bobcats. And what do you got for a first half recap, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, the scoring all really started with 3:36 still to go. That's when the quarterback out there in Jaquan Green was able to get a 4-yard rushing touchdown, get themselves 6 points, tried for the extra point, but wasn't more so blocked, but more so they just kicked the ball right into the defense. Just not the best kick to begin with. So it sat at 6-0 until with just 10 seconds left in that first quarter. Number 24 out there for these Pittsburgh Bobcats, or Steel City Bobcats if I want to be correct here. And number 24, just looking for him, it's Maurice Downswell, was able to get a 1-yard rushing touchdown, 10 seconds left, and the extra point was, in fact, good by number 0 there, and Raphael Hurd. Now then we start off the second quarter there with a interception, a pick six, if you will, with 8 minutes and 2 seconds to go for the Youngstown Patricians to get themselves on the board. That was number 21, able to bring it home on that pick six, Marshall Mays. And the +1 turned into +2 because they decided to go for that 2-point conversion. That was a 16-yard pick six, though, as well, just to give it a little more detail. But after that, it was all Steel City from there. It's been all downhill for this Youngstown side. Number 16 able to get a rushing touchdown with 61 yards. Not even a minute later here for this Steel City side. Their number 14 gets an interception, then brings it home with 3:40 to go. And they go for 2 to try and get that point that was blocked earlier on. That was scored by Steel City's number 3, and give me a second here, and I believe that was Marshall Thompson, if I'm not incorrect, or no, Ron Brown Jr. A couple of number 3s out there. It can be a little confusing. Do beg your pardon. And to stop scoring there. Now, with 2:27 left to go, it was a 20-yard touchdown pass. First one of the game through the air that actually worked. 40 yards for that pass, the best throw we've seen all night here from either of these two quarterbacks, completed to D. Reed, and that's why we sit at 34-8.
That our score here at the half. We remind you today's game and all season long, Patricians football brought to you by TPI Custom Photo Lab, the official banner supplier of the Youngstown Patricians. Find them online at tpiphoto.com or call them at 330-793-3456. We'll come back. We'll get you ready for third quarter action at the break. Steel City 34, the Youngstown Patricians 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this.
that you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
To the stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
All right, back here to Couples Stadium, downtown Pittsburgh, home of the Pittsburgh Public Schools, where they play their high school football games. It is a 34-8 lead for Steel City at the half, and they're going to get the football to begin this third quarter, and they have really not taken the foot off the gas at all so far in the first half of action.
Well, why stop when you have a chance to put up almost historic numbers here? You just keep going. Why not here? Everybody likes to score, and if you have the ability to do so and the other team's not going to stop you from doing it, you're going to take full advantage.
So the winner of this game will meet the winner of the Leviathan and Arctic Bengals, and we know it is the Arctic Bengals who will win that football game, and they will move on to the next round. We saw earlier this afternoon the announcement on the Facebook page of the PAFL for the location of the championship game that is coming up in a couple of weeks. As the trying to get myself caught up to the page so I'm not ahead of myself. The Tier 2 championship game to be played August 16th, 6:30 at Akron Ellet High School. So that is where the neutral site championship game for Tier 2 will be played in a couple of weeks. Steel City going through their warm-ups. Patricians now down on the field.
You know, Ellet, that's not a bad location. I've been able to call a couple of high school games there in the past couple of seasons. Not as big as this, but it is another one of those fields that's shared by a whole bunch of different Akron public schools. It's not just Ellet, not just the Orangemen who are using that field, but everybody, I believe Akron North comes over. I'm trying to remember all the other schools here, but about half the schools, there's another field on the other side of town as well for Akron, but not bad facilities. The Cleveland Browns, I believe, donated a whole bunch of money for them to just renovate it recently, past couple of years. They love their field. They take pride in it, and you know what? If you're going to go to another high school field to do your championship, that is the one to go to right there.
And you know, you and I, although not together, have done a lot of high school games over the last couple of years, and it's starting to feel like pretty much, not all, but pretty much every facility you go to now has another wonderful turf field.
Yeah, and you know, I've got my yays and nays about turf versus grass. This one has obviously hurt a couple plays here today for either team with that ball bouncing so much, especially with that onside kick. If this was grass, you wouldn't have seen that ball bounce nearly as high or as much as it did until somebody finally got a hold of it. There's definitely some positives and some negatives here, but the positive, and that's the one that everybody looks at, is the cost efficiency here. You don't have to do anything to keep up with it, other than maybe put some more little rubber pellets down every now and then after something gets stuck in people's shoes as the years go by.
Seeing a couple of more facilities adding turf in the Youngstown area this offseason. Up in the Alliance area, West Branch has gone to turf for the upcoming 2025 season. And down in Trumbull County, the Brookfield Warriors have moved to a stadium closer to the school, and they have put turf in for this year.
Yeah, Brookfield, nice facilities down there. Nothing huge, but again, you don't need it for the smaller town anyways. But West Branch, I'm surprised they hadn't gone to turf earlier with that giant stadium already that they had. They've been using actual grass down there. That's incredible. Pretty soon they'll be doing that with baseball too, and they've got some nice baseball and softball facilities too. That whole West Branch, the entirety of that school, because they're down there in the middle of nowhere, and that's a positive here for them because they've got so much space to spread out, especially for athletics. What a great place for it to be a student athlete.
Major League Baseball scoreboard, Guardians up 5-4 on the Twins in the top of the ninth, and Evan Gaddis on to close today. I am not saying that's a Kate Smith has lost the closing job. I'm saying Kate Smith threw an inning plus yesterday, and they're probably giving him the day off.
I mean, you can't overwork anybody, especially at that level, especially when you're so close to getting back into the playoffs. You got to do what you got to do here to stay fit, stay healthy. Hunter Gaddis out there, I'm getting a lot of trust out there on the field. From Stephen Vogt. It's great to see the young guys stepping up and getting some action in there and doing good stuff here for our Guardians.
Manzo's 0 for 4.
Was it not Manzardo? I thought it was somebody else. Maybe it was Schneemann. Maybe I misread it.
And Schneemann's 3 for 4.
It must have been Schneemann.
Manzo, after the game-winning hit yesterday, 0 for 4.
All right, so today's game was standing on that.
Onside kick to start the second half. Loose ball on the turf, and the Patricians come out of there with the football. That's Pringle, who has the football for Youngstown. David Pringle on special teams recovers, and Steel City trying to put the foot on the throat and make this game over early.
Didn't work out this time, and I think that Youngstown a little bit more ready for anything at this point, knowing that these guys are trying to sneak up on them and surprise them and confuse them even with some of their plays. It almost did work for them again. It's close to that line, just almost out of play, but this time Youngstown able to just get a hold of that ball.
So 1st and 10 for the Patricians. They spot the football in Steel City territory at the 46-yard line. Got Corey McElroy in there at the quarterback spot. Patricians left to right heading into the setting sun off to our right.
I was just about to bring that up. Something to keep in mind here. If you are Youngstown, this is not the right quarter to be facing that direction over to the right. Because again, like you said, the sun's coming down and that's coming right into your eyes. By the time Steel City's heading that direction, it'll probably be a lot lower and a little bit more manageable. So that's the home field advantage for you.
Absolutely. So 1st and 10 for the Patricians from the 46-yard line. And a couple of people sprint across the field, so that held up play for a moment.
As long as everything's being done legally and we're not seeing flags fly, I think we're going to be happy about that.
So Burgess at the quarterback spot, trips to the left, single receiver right side. It looks like that is Jordan Eaton, the tailback, to the left of Burgess. Now we've got the ready for play whistle and we're ready to get back to action. Burgess takes the snap, going to roll to that strong side, flips it ahead to Eaton, made the catch and got tripped up at the 44-yard line, and he was a shoestring tackle away from a big catch and run up the middle.
If it hadn't been for that one stray arm out there from Steel City, first down definitely, he would have gotten a little extra before somebody finally caught up to him. He had daylight, not just the one that's setting over there, but actual just room to run if it hadn't been, let's face it here, defensive play.
Evan. Ball is on the 44-yard line. Trips right, single receiver Bates to the left side. McElroy and Eaton in the backfield. McElroy takes the snap, fires it out. Quick ball intercepted at the 40. by Steel City and pulled down from behind by Royster. Does that look like, was that 6 or 5? That was Bryant who stepped in front of that throw. And Steel City gets the football right back after the interception.
Just seems to be the way this game has gone, hasn't it? Interception after interception. It's happened on both sides, but it's happened more here against Youngstown. Just great heads-up play here by the Steel City side.
So Steel City takes it over, 1st and 10 at the Patricians' 32-yard line.
The clock stopped. They still have 13:58 to go here in this third quarter alone. Still plenty of time left in this game for anything to happen.
So Steel City will come out with the football. That is Ron Brown Jr. at the quarterback spot. 2 receivers go to the left. Patricians sprint a man off to the sidelines. Patricians sprint a man off to the sidelines. Coming from the right edge. That's Isaac Coker. They run it inside. And the ball carrier driven back on the tackle. That's Pringle in there on the stop with Zier Graham. After a short gain, it's 2nd and 9.
Graham already with 1 touchdown credited to him today. He has been dangerous. Everybody on this Steel City side has been dangerous, but good to keep an eye on these guys who've already been able to punch one through. Their confidence has got to be high. Yours has got to be higher if you're going up against them on the defense.
2nd down and 9. Run it again. Avoided the first tackle and slipping his way down to about the 26-yard line. Then we've got some pushing and shoving all the way to the sidelines after the play. No flags.
I got to say, that seemed a little more friendly than anything after the little slap on the back. Like, just get out of here, buddy. It's all good. Just playing around with the O-line. That's all.
3rd down and 3 for the Bobcats. Brown to throw it. Time in a clean pocket. Pulls it down. Pass caught across the 20. And the tackle made there by Darion Owens. That's good enough for a Steel City 1st down.
His helmet just can't stay on. Sean Cole just lost his helmet. I'm not even sure what happened. I think maybe a gust of wind this time. Might as well with just how often they've been falling off for these guys. That's an O-line right there that you're going to have to lose for a play. That might be big there for Youngstown.
1st and 10 to the 20-yard line. 12.5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. 34-8 in favor of the Steel City Bobcats. PAFL Tier 2 opening round playoff action here on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Now you brought up the Guardians. They ended up coming out on top 5-4. They held the lead, got the win.
Big wins in their division.
Oh, always, especially against the Twins.
Snap it, gonna give it to the tailback again, right up the middle, and driving the pile and making the pile look like he got pile driven down at about the 12-yard line.
He's very, very close for that 1st down. Just gotta see where they spot it. Not quite there yet.
I kind of felt like I was watching Major League yesterday during the Guardians games, but from a Twins perspective, I didn't know who half their players were after all the trades they made.
You see, I didn't even get a chance to watch that because we've been talking about soccer, or at least I have been, and I was watching the Crew take on Puebla.
Well, they traded away Correa. They traded away Griffin Jacks.
Oh, no, it seems like they've just completely given up on the season with how they've been trading away the majority of their team. That I can tell you about. Yeah, I mean, wow. That's incredible. I can't believe we didn't decide to go after some of those guys.
2nd and 2. 2 receivers to the right. Brown going to hand it off. Running back, that's Stousel in there. And he's going to be close to the 1st down. They're going to say 3rd down.
I think he got right back to the line on that one, and he did. If anything, it looked like he might have been a yard shy, but refs give him the yard instead. And like you said, 3rd down still very short.
You mentioned a 5-4 win for the Guardians, looking for the sweep now tomorrow afternoon against the Twins.
Now we're at 3rd down here. My question to you, just seeing as you are the PAFL expert here, at least compared to me, if they don't get this one, we go to 4th down, do you see these guys going for the field goal from this distance?
No.
You think this is still too far out for these fellas?
I don't know if it's too far out. I just think
or just too much of a risk.
They're just going to go for it because of the distance of the down. So
Now they get pushed back.
We'll see how the play turns out.
Did they risk it with this big of a lead? I mean, why not try, right?
Brown's going to keep it. Dowsell going to lead block for him. And Brown down near the 1 yard line before being pushed back. Either way, it's going to be first and goal for the Patricians. And Mr. 72, you just willingly took your helmet off, so you must come out of the game for one play.
No, he knew it. He's got a big smile on his face anyway, so probably had an itch, just said, well, we're up by so much. If I'm out, we put somebody else in. That's fine. Give him some more time.
So first and goal, ball spotted at the 2. Brown and Dowsell in the backfield, 2 receivers split to the left. Patricians climbing up into the gap. Now they'll back off. Brown looking to throw. Now he'll tuck it and run, and he'll score from 2 yards out. On the run by Ron Brown Jr. And with 9:15 to play here in the third quarter, it is now 40-8 in favor of Steel City.
Almost wish that there was a running clock like you have in high school here at this point, just with how ridiculous this is getting and just how out of hand it has gotten.
So they will bring on Kariotis to attempt the extra point. With 9:15 to play in the third, and got an official stoppage in play.
Looks like there's a player maybe laboring over there for Youngstown. Number 9, it appears.
That's David Pringle.
Just very slowly being escorted off by his teammate, just helping him, so maybe he got banged up a little bit on the play.
So Kariotis on for the extra point. Ron Brown Jr., the quarterback, will hold. What? They snapped the football. Brown caught it out of the air with one hand, and the ball was snapped as the referee's back was to the line of scrimmage.
How many oddities are we going to have in this game, Mark?
I think we're going to have a do-over.
Well, I would hope.
Because there wasn't a penalty called.
No. They just snapped it before the whistle was really blown, or at least the correct whistle was blown.
Right, before the ready for play. All right, now everybody's lined up, and the referee is facing the line of scrimmage. Snap a little high, pulls it down, extra point blocked. Patricians can pick it up and run it back for 2, but Steel City's got the football. Ron Brown Jr. tackled by Owens from behind. And with 9:15 to play in the fourth quarter, it is Steel City 40 and Youngstown 8. We're back after a quick timeout on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
9:15 to play in this one here on Western Reserve Radio 2. Mark, Matt, and Dave with you high atop the press box here at Couple Stadium. Reminding you, Patricians football brought to you by their Fisher Banner supplier and TPI Custom Photo Lab. Find them online at tpiphoto.com or call 330-793-3456. Steel City saying they are one player short.
Well, maybe they'll take one of the kids that are playing out just past the end zone.
I think they are.
Them come out and do
they
it.
might be 2 players short. So Kariotis now will come on to attempt the extra point, and Youngstown putting an extra guy up at the line after 2 onside kicks we've seen from Steel City in this one. This time he will kick it away. Across the 15, 20, 25, hesitates across the 30, does Miguel Burgess. And the former Cheney Cowboy brought down around the 31-yard line.
Not a bad game, though a lot of hesitation on his run. Didn't seem to really see, part of me here, exactly where he could go. Just saw nothing but black and blue all around, and eventually black and blue found him.
It'll be interesting after this year. Only one team in the city of Youngstown going forward. That is going to be a powerful football team for sure with those two schools combined.
I was about to say, you're talking about PAFL? I thought we only had one team. You're talking about Youngstown City schools there with Cheney and East. I was confused for a second.
Cheney and East.
Oh, that'll be interesting here.
I'll be curious to find out what division they will play
Yeah, I was about to say,
at.
because it can't be Steel City at this point, right? You've got to think that with only 3 teams, that's going to disband, especially with the 2 private schools there, Mooney and Ursuline, at least in football, going towards that all-Catholic school division, which might end up just taking all sports slowly but surely over time. So you got to wonder what's happening to that Steel City. You got to wonder where Youngstown's going to go.
Running backs flanking the quarterback. Now Burgess will go in motion. They're going to run it on first down. A big hit after a 2-yard gain is whacked to the turf and losing his helmet. That was Ryan Royster, the former Warren Harding Raider.
You know, I think that a good home there for that new Youngstown school, Northeast State. Let's get that 8th team back in the conference. Right there, you've got all the teams north, south of them. Why not just put one right in downtown?
It'll be interesting to see if that Catholic League happens. There's been talk about it. It just hasn't completely developed just yet.
Now you've got schools from all over the state, though. Columbus, I think you've got some Cincinnati, Akron, obviously, with St. V and Hoban both already talking about doing it. I think Walsh even said something about joining. Yeah, be interesting.
We're going to run it with the flag on the field across the 45, 55, 45, and out of bounds goes Miguel Burgess.
Good tackle by Jaden White there for Steel City as well. But as you said, Laundry came out. We'll see what it's about.
There's been a lot of friendly chatter between the two teams today. Nothing with nothing negative at all.
No.
Just been a lot of talk.
Only negative we saw was at the beginning of the game, and it's when we were talking to their coach. They got upset about us talking to them.
Right.
But the players, they can talk all they want, and it's just been friendly. You know, patting each other on the back, saying, "Hey, we're happy to be here. We're just happy to be playing. We're playing football, guys." That's all they're saying.
So that big run by Miguel Burgess will be wiped out on the holding penalty that now backs the ball up all the way to the 22-yard line. Zier Graham looked at the umpire working the sidelines and was like, "What did I do?" So at least he got the explanation. I don't know if it was one he agreed with, but nonetheless, he got the explanation. Split single receivers to each side of the formation. They've got both Eaton and Graham in the backfield with the quarterback, Corey McElroy. Going to give it to, McElroy is going to keep it. Trying to look to throw. He's got 3 jerseys all over him. He'll fire downfield for Bates. And Bates came up with the football at the 49-yard line. I don't know how Landon Bates found that football in the air, but that is good enough for a big gain and a Patricians first down.
Still down on that sideline as well. Landed a little awkwardly on his shoulder, just taking a second after his coaches have a chat with him. But wow, what an effort. We finally see some positives through the air for Youngstown here tonight.
Move the ball down to the 49-yard line. 6:50 clock rolling, third quarter. 40-8 in favor of the Steel City Bobcats. Royster going to move into an inside slot position to the to the left side. 2 receivers out to the right. Now Graham's going to come in motion. Go back outside, making sure everybody's on the same page. Play clock rolling down. McElroy going to hand the ball to Graham, who hesitates and then got thrown down at the line of scrimmage. Got kind of just wrapped up around the shoulders and tossed on the turf.
Still trying to untangle each other as well out there. Got a nice little pretzel. Able to get the dough out, and Now we'll wait and see what happens here on a second down and
So
long.
he's playing food commercials. You're talking about pretzels. I haven't ate since 10:30 this morning. I'm ready for whatever after the game.
I think I was 11 o'clock. Had an early lunch.
2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. Johnson Sr., Christopher McCullough to the right side. Bates, after that big catch, looks like he might be ready to check back in. McElroy takes the low snap, going to roll to the wide side. Feeling the pressure, avoids the rush, steps into a deep ball into triple coverage and batted away. One of the defenders was literally tackling Christopher McCullough. Excuse me, that's one. That's Tyree Johnson Sr. While the football was in the air, he was standing in position, and there's no flag.
I was wondering what exactly I just witnessed, honestly. Just a nice play back here by our quarterback to throw it out. But again, interesting with that coverage, but yeah, the player definitely was being taken around.
You witnessed pass interference that wasn't called.
A lot of contact.
A lot of contact.
And it almost got intercepted as well, too. So a whole lot of luck and misfortune all wrapped up under one bow, rather, here for Youngstown, because fortunate that they didn't throw the interception, but unfortunate that the call, well, wasn't called.
You also had a defender for Steel City doing push-ups after the play. Something we tend to see around the PAFL. A way to celebrate, but not get penalized. 3rd and 10 from the 49-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now we've got a whistle. And I think we have a Youngstown timeout. Timeout on the field. 4:55 to play, 3rd quarter. Steel City 40, Youngstown 8 on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
55 to play here in the 3rd quarter. It is a 3rd down and 10 facing the Patricians, who have called their first of 3 timeouts. They will come back on the field with Royster at the quarterback spot. Corey McElroy lined up as a receiver to the right. Now Tyree Johnson Jr. going to line up tight to the line of scrimmage, slot to the right. That's Mark Grier, who took the direct snap on 3rd down and 10, and he's going to be stood up at the 49-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 8 for Youngstown.
Just a modest gain that they had to settle for, trying to go alongside, see if there was any space, any way to outrun, and those Bobcats ready to pounce on top of their prey. Just nowhere to run here, and that's been the story more or less here throughout this game. If they're not putting it through the air, they're keeping it on the ground, and those Bobcats against this Patricians offense, well, they've been very good here.
So this will bring up 4th down and 8. And it looks like Grier's going to punt the football away.
And that would be the right call here, so long as that's what they stick with. So long here. I mean, where are they at the 49-yard line? Yeah, they're on the right side of the 50, but not far enough in. Yeah, they should not be going for it here.
McElroy going to line up as a receiver to the right. Mark Grier to punt. High snap, back to him. Gets the kick away into an opening where it's just going to roll. And the Bobcats will take over after the punt with 3 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. And Steel City holding a 40-8 lead. Just heard from Dave Clark, my normal partner, who is enjoying enshrinement Saturday at the Hall of Fame. I almost said Cooperstown for a minute. I got my halls of fame
You're thinking
crossed
about
up.
Tom Hamilton getting inducted. Still all fresh in the mind.
Tom Hamilton, Dave Parker, CC. That was a fantastic class that went in. Interesting speech made by Ichiro.
I think I saw some of that.
He was part of the class. I'll tell you this. I actually got to call CC's first game as a professional when he made his first start for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers.
It's always the fun of being able to work in minor league sports. Just saying, hey, I was there.
I was
there when these guys were kids and they were throwing all kinds of a mess and weren't very good yet, but man, I was there. I got to see them live. I got to see the progression. It's always cool. That's
part of that broadcast crew, but I got to fill in on opening day. Slant pass falls incomplete off the hands at the 30-yard line. Intended for 13, Savon Salter. That opening day battery for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Karsten Charles Sabathia and Victor Martinez. It turned out to be okay.
I would say just okay, though. Nothing crazy, right? No Hall of Famers.
And I think we're a few years away from the Scrappers having a second Hall of Famer to go with CC.
Oh, there have been so many good players here. You got to even
Jose
trying to think
Ramirez.
which one. You're going with Jose?
I think he's going to, the way he continues to pile up the numbers.
The way the Guardians draft, they always seem to get a bunch of gems there. Not everybody's a winner, unfortunately, but that's just pro sports.
Second down. Running it are the Bobcats on second down, this time into the line for a very short gain. Going to bring up third down and long for Steel City. And Jose Ramirez yesterday becoming the first primary third baseman with 275 home runs and 275 steals.
I believe he's tied for second in the club's stolen base record, if I'm not mistaken, unless he's already passed that at this point. Wouldn't surprise me. He's all over the place on those record books, club and league-wide. He's a threat. Everybody's scared of him for a reason.
Wonder if he's passed Kenny Lofton in that stolen base category yet.
Was Lofton second? I can't remember how many Lofton had. He might have passed Lofton. I'm not sure. Gotta look at it.
So third down and 9. Brown to throw. Deep drop in the pocket. Gonna sling it downfield. Man out there. Ball intercepted and taken away. Isaac Coker went over the back of the receiver. Pulled that football down. Coker fires the football into the air, and the officials fire a multitude of flags.
Well, you can't celebrate like that. Push-ups are okay, but tossing it up and jumping up and down like a giddy little schoolgirl, that's not. Can't showboat.
So we saw that happen in the game last week against Cleveland. And that game, there was no flag thrown for that. But when you do that and you do it right in front of a couple of officials,
no,
you're almost asking them to throw that flag.
I was going to do it. You can't tempt fate like that. I know you're down by a bunch here, and it almost seems like it doesn't matter, but you never know. One play could get you the momentum, back in your favor. All kinds of blunders here now. But one run, one play, one anything could get momentum right back in your favor and get you back out there. But
so after the interception, that is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Coker for firing the football into the air after the interception. See who's coming out at quarterback. That is going to be Corey McElroy, number 11. We mentioned it. These are names you saw not that long ago playing under the Friday night lights, now playing for the love of the game still at the semi-pro level.
Again, brought up early, we've got a lot of local talent here who are very good at that high school level and just, like you said, just want to keep it going. It's nice to see those names still out here making a difference in their own league in their own way.
Marshall Mays checking in, had a chance to talk to Marshall on the field before the game, played his high school football just up the road from me and Niles at Mineral Ridge. Got first-year head coach Andy Hake running that program now for the Rams. And we've got an offsides penalty, I believe, on the... No, they're going to call a false start on the Patricians. That was at least the initial indication.
False start, yeah.
That will be the penalty called on Youngstown. So back them up 5 more. And push the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line. McElroy to throw, going to take the deep shot, looking for Royster. A little bit of contact, but no flag.
I think they just got caught up with each other there. I don't think that there was really anything egregious. Right call there by the refs. Ball just going way too far out of reach anyways.
So that pass falls incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd down and a 15 all the way back at the Youngstown 30-yard line. So it is it is Marshall Mays and Christopher McCullough to the right side. McElroy takes the snap, firing downfield. That ball knocked down and incomplete. Looks like Trey Alexander got his hand on the football to knock that away.
Sometimes you just got to stick your hand out there, and sometimes you get lucky like that.
Update from that game between the Rapids and Cobras over on Western Reserve Radio 1. That game is 6-6 in the first quarter. If you're listening to the Patricians game, we will join that Cobras game against the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids in Cleveland after the conclusion of this one. McCullough checking with McElroy. Hand signals between those two. McCullough goes the other way to Landon Bates with the screen. Bates makes the catch, and he'll get close to the first down marker. We'll have to see where they spot him out of bounds. Shy of the 35, it looks like. So that'll bring up 4th down and long. We're down to 1:36 and rolling here in the third quarter.
Big 4th down here, though, for Youngstown.
They're going to punt the football away because here comes Mark Grier from Mountain Point High School in Arizona to punt the ball away.
Still trying to get some stuff figured out, making sure everybody's out there on time.
Trying to get Corey McElroy out there. Snap back to him, a little bit of a rush. He'll get the kick away. Then he one-handed inside the 30, across the 35-40, 45-50. And try to flip the ball, and did to one of his teammates across the 35-30. Cuts back 20. Inside the 10-5, and that is a touchdown for Steel City. No flags on the play. So they lateraled the ball. It was a good lateral backwards. It was pretty much right here in front of us, and they took it into the end zone for a touchdown. So 26 seconds to play here in the third quarter. And the lead is now 46-8 in favor of Steel City. And they'll get set to come on for Cariotis' extra point.
It's just impressive high IQ football play right there, though. Good return, moving it. Takes one wrong cut down the middle around the 50 and ends up having a player right there and is able to, like you said, laterally just tosses across. Just incredible. And then there's just nothing but room to run.
We've now seen Steel City score in all 3 phases of the game today.
They're having themselves a field day out there for sure.
So they will get set to attempt the extra point. With 26 seconds to play here in the third. Steel City taking some time getting to the line of scrimmage to attempt this extra point. Now we're ready to get back to play, as you can hear the whistle and ready for play. High snap, they get it down, extra point. Gonna float out to the outside, and it is good. And with 26 seconds to go here in the third quarter, it is now 47-8 in favor of Steel City, who will now advance to round 2. And I believe they should be hosting the Arctic Bengals coming up next Saturday right here.
Not sure what's going on their side here, but we've got a Patrician in here with a whole bunch of Bobcats around him. It's almost like he's trying to defect to teams or something, just walking to that line.
Yeah, he's made his way in front of the bench.
It doesn't seem like it's anything major. He's just getting himself set up for the return here.
That is Andrew Scott, number 35, as the Patricians will bring out the special teams unit.
Everybody very slow to get set up here, and, well, why rush?
We started this game in the middle 70s when we kicked off at 5 o'clock. As we approach 7:30 now here in the third quarter, we've dropped a whole 2 degrees to 75. But it has been, these last couple of days have been really enjoyable. It's actually nice to open the house up and get some fresh air.
Yesterday especially was nice and cool. It's been a nice, cool start to our August here in Northeast Ohio, and of course now here of Pennsylvania as well, but all within the same region, I would say, Youngstown, Pittsburgh.
You know what'll be the 2 hottest days of August? The 21st and 22nd when we kick off high school football. Those days always seem, they're either wet or they're super hot.
It's always a scorcher, and going into September as well, it doesn't matter. Not until you get closer to playoffs is when it starts to really cool off a little bit.
So Steel City now lined up, ready to kick the football.
But when it cools off, it gets freezing.
I'll take cold over hot. This kick, end over end, short, runs up on it at the 23. Across the 25, hesitates to the 30. Cuts back to the 35, still on his feet, across midfield, across 50. 45, cuts back 40 with blockers across the 30 to the outside and tripped up from behind inside the 25-yard line. And that was Corey McElroy on the return for Youngstown. McElroy was a little slow to get up, but they're able to pick him up. Update in that game from Cleveland. It is now the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids 9. Okay. The hand signals weren't working. It is 9-6 Cobras leading the Steel City Rapids. You know, if you just move that monitor a little closer, I could watch it too.
You would pay attention to this.
What, put a headset on and say that?
It is 47-8 as we have completed the first 3 quarters here tonight from Couple Stadium. Back for the final 15 minutes on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Final 15 minutes of this one put up on the board. Mark, Matt, and Dave with you from Couple Stadium here in Pittsburgh, home of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. And procedure penalty, 2 men in motion at the same time on the Patricians. You can only do that north of the border. That doesn't work for football here in the States. It always makes it interesting when your regular partner played in the CFL and knows all those little rules. Like, I saw one this week. If you kick a field goal and miss and the ball goes in the stands, you still get 1 point. And a team won by doing that. Snap it directly to one of the up backs, and that's Royster, who got driven back for a loss of a couple.
So you get rewarded for failing?
Well, you didn't actually fail, though. You kicked the ball into the stands, so you get 1. Even
But
though
you still missed the pylon. I mean, not the pylons, the uprights.
Yes. CFL football is different. It's fun. It's different. You got a chance to meet Dave when we went to Columbus, and he's got his years playing professional football, and he finished up playing up there in the CFL for a couple of years.
Are they getting a USFL team down in Columbus sometime soon? Thought I heard news of that. They're playing at Historic Crew Stadium.
Well, McCullough took off downfield against the defensive back, but nobody else moved, and that's going to be a penalty on the Patricians and back them up 5 yards.
Thought I heard that somebody was moving and they're going to move him to Columbus.
That would be interesting. The stadium would look really empty for those games, since it holds 110,000.
Historic Crew Stadium?
Oh, no, sorry.
I was going to say, that's around 20.
I was thinking of,
You're thinking Ohio Stadium.
Ohio Stadium.
No, they're playing where the Crew once called home. Now the Columbus Crew 2 call it home, which is way too big for a minor league soccer team. I think they'd fill up Crew Stadium pretty well.
They've played some football games there over the years, too.
Oh, yeah. It's a good multi-use stadium, definitely.
Snap back to Corey McElroy, who's going to take a shot for Landon Bates. All kinds of hand fighting. No flag. Bates is begging for one, and that ball got intercepted by Steel City. And Bates will turn around and run him down from behind. Bates said he's holding my jersey,
and
which
we've got
he was.
fighting going on. Some arms are being swung out there. 15 and 14. 15 for the Patricians, 14 for Steel City. Tempers are starting to rise here.
They're just kind of letting everything go right now, keeping the flags in the pocket.
Well, as long as nobody knocks somebody else out. And they did stop it. They didn't go too terribly quick there. Well, either it went quick, but they didn't go too terribly long. I got to figure this one out, though, because, again, they were swinging.
But there's no flags.
I think that it caught the referees off guard, too.
So they've got a referee huddle at the 32-yard line.
Honestly, everything's been so friendly, it seems, up until this point.
You're right. There is actually a flag to the left of the referee.
I think that came out after they joined the huddle, and somebody just said, no, this is ridiculous. There's got to be something. And I think it should be against both of them. Oh, the Whitecaps coming over here to tell us.
So what are we going to get? Personal foul. Offsetting.
Yep.
So those will offset, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Steel City. With 12:23 to play, they'll have the ball at their own 36-yard line.
Somebody said something here that wasn't necessary in a game that's, well, 39 points
decided,
away.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who said what? Who knows? Doesn't matter too much, but definitely don't want to see that continue. Still got 12 and a half, just under 12 and a half minutes here to play in this game. Don't end your season on such a sour note here if you're Youngstown. See if you can get that ball back. See if you can get another score here.
So
we've gone out with a bang.
We've got CEO President John Galbraith and Coach Harris over there talking to the referee. Joining him in the conversation is Darion Owens, number 27. So now the referee makes the walk back to midfield.
We're still seeing the same player, 15 here for the Patricians, still helmet off on the field, trying to be escorted off by his teammates. Still saying some stuff to the sideline, so something was said out there. And it rubbed him the wrong way.
So he'll get helped to the sidelines. We didn't have an ejection. We just had a conversation. And
Conversation that ended a little more rough than it needed to.
I don't think the discussion was where dinner plans were for tonight.
You know, it could have been, and they just didn't like the other option.
Well, you know, one guy said Station Square. The other guy said, no, I'd like to go somewhere else. And
go to Purgatory or something, you know. You got other great options out here.
I was thinking about where I wanted to go eat after the game. That's probably not that far from here.
Well, you got one just downtown by the stadiums.
Right, that's the one I always like to go to.
And then you got one a little bit further out of town by the Lemieux Center, just I believe an exit before, if I'm not mistaken.
That is one of my favorite places to go in Pittsburgh.
It's not bad at all.
Right there off of Tony Dorsett Drive, downtown. And the conversation continues with a couple of our officials.
Neither coach is very happy with the holdup either. They're both out on the field saying something to their team, saying something to the refs, and now everybody walks off, and I think we're finally going to play some football. Just under 11 minutes to go.
Ron Brown Jr. at the quarterback spot. They're going to run it with a new ball carrier in there for a short gain.
Nice stop, stuffing them up. Nowhere to run there for number 23. You took my roster away from me here where I was trying to remember everybody. I'm still getting used to these
That's Keith
players.
Jackson.
That's Keith Jackson. Well, would have had that if you hadn't taken away from me.
Every time I say his name, all I can think of is the legendary voice of college football, Keith Jackson. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 from the 46-yard line. Steel City may be content here to just run the football and run the clock out.
That would be the correct thing to do here. A more sporty way to do things, I would say. The higher sportsmanship.
And Jaquan Green got the start at quarterback, but we've seen a lot of Ron Brown Jr. ever since the second quarter.
Don't believe they have a play clock here.
That's the only thing this facility does not have. Ron Brown Jr. to throw it. Time, going to take a deep shot downfield. And that ball knocked away and incomplete.
Had it for half a second, but as soon as his back hit the ground, the ball went loose. Now the ball ended up in the end zone. Doesn't count for anything.
As soon as I said content to run the ball and run the clock, they take a 60-yard shot downfield.
Well, you knew that it was more of a 60-40 in this game here. 60 that it wasn't going to land, 40 that it was going to land. And the 60% came up on top here, so you can throw it away like that if you want to. The clock is still running.
And interestingly enough, we have 3 Patricians players who have decided that they've had enough.
Or at least 2 of them. But Christopher McCullough, who was part of that little scrum earlier, I wonder if Coach said, you know, you've had enough here. You weren't ejected, but I'm telling you, just go back to your car and just get out of the stadium before you run your mouth out of there the wrong way.
So 3rd down and 8 for Steel City. Twins to each side. Single back to the left of the quarterback, Ron Brown Jr. Blitz on. Ron Brown Jr. has a man wide open, made the catch at the 30. Bounced off a defender. He'll stay on his feet. And he is into the end zone from a 54 yards out as that receiver found himself open behind the secondary and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Just been one of those games.
So 53-8 now in favor of Steel City. And Pete Kariotis, number 0, will come on to attempt the extra point.
No, so much for just running the clock out and letting this game go. Steel City wants to get every single point they can here tonight. Part of me wonders if they're going a little more for it now after that scrum. Maybe that just reignited some flame there and they wanted to, who knows.
So Ron Brown Jr. will come on to hold. Pete Kariotis to attempt the extra point. Seen a couple of off snaps by Steel City in this one today. High snap this time. They get it down, and that extra point is good. We've got 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. They are running the clock. With the Steel City up 54-8, we'll step aside for a quick break and be back on Western Reserve Radio 2.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or veterans.org today. The Mahoning Commission, serving those who have served.
Six minutes to play in this one here on Western Reserve Radio 2. Mark, Matt, and Dave. And over the years, I've had friends, including this guy to my right that's producing, that when I was doing games, still loved to text me just obscure things as possible to get me to laugh on the air. Well, I have a buddy who lives out in the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area, and I get the text that says, out at a minor league baseball game today, the line is wrapped around the building for an autograph. Any idea who it might be? I scroll to the next picture, and who is it, Matt? Are you ready?
I'm trying to think here.
Urkel.
That makes sense. For minor league, that actually makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. It's very minor league with something like that. So, yeah, he's in a line to get an autograph from Urkel from Family Matters.
Part of me is just like, maybe a ex-player, but around the block, around the building, maybe not that.
Kariotis with his foot into this one. It's going to be fielded at the 15, across the 20. 25-30 to the 35 for Isaac Coker, who now gives ground back to the 25. Flag on the play. Coker still running, splits two defenders, and gets inside the 35 and down to the 36-yard line. So we'll have to sort out the penalty as they unpile. For the most part, even with the score the way it is, this has been a clean football game. In the sense that, there's a little bit of talk, but it hasn't gotten too far.
Just a little kerfuffle that got stopped and stuffed out immediately. Other than that, it's been clean.
Well done. That's a word I like to mix in every once in a while, and that is well done. Got the flag back here at the 30-yard line and waiting for the penalty call.
Against the Patricians, they are moving back. When you bring up Urkel signing an autograph all the way out there on the other side of the state here. Remember, I think we're still the Akron Arrows at that point. Weird Al threw out the first pitch at an Arrows game. It's a rainy night. I believe he was just in town for a concert. A lot of people showed up hoping that maybe he'd be around to take pictures, sign an autograph during the game. He goes, throws the pitch, does this weird little warm-up, tosses it, and he leaves. You're just thinking, what are we doing? You got Weird Al here. Everybody's here with their records and their albums and everything, photos, and didn't want to stay for the game.
Throwing out a first pitch can be a stressful thing.
I don't think it was stressful for him.
I have done it twice. I will tell you this once, very, very bad. Once, okay, but I still took grief for throwing from in front of the mound and not on top of it.
Was this as bad as LeBron James a few years ago?
I mean, it wasn't 50 Cent bad.
Or you threw it all the way out into the...
No, I didn't. No, I didn't injure anybody, but
into the stands.
I had a little higher standards than I was able to perform at. So I'd say 1 for 2.
1 for 2.
Neither one were strikes. Sidearm sling. That ball's going to be dropped and incomplete. They are calling that a catch and a tackle for loss.
Clock is still going, though, either way. Just trying to get through this game at this point. Getting to the final 3 minutes of action here. See here if the Patricians can hold on to the ball for those final 3 minutes, rather. Give it up.
Still 9-6. Cobras leading the Rapids over there at Lakewood Middle School in Cleveland. Jim and Coach Bob will join you for the wrap-up of that game coming up here on Western Reserve Radio 2 next. 2nd and 10 from the 15 for the Patricians. Bobbled snap picked up by McElroy. Rolling to the outside, just going to fire this one downfield, and almost a one-handed interception that was almost tipped to Landon Bates, but it'll fall incomplete and bring up 3rd down and 10.
Now you're bringing up your excitement here for the return of high school football in just a few weeks. Not far behind it is the return of Phantoms hockey here on Western Reserve Radio as well.
Phantoms hockey working our logistics on the schedule for that. They've got some exhibition games coming up.
Kinds of fun preseason all over the place.
Yes,
and you, of course, got the normal tournament that you have every year right here outside of Pittsburgh over at that Lemieux Center we brought up earlier. Always a fun time. It's going to be a good season for them.
We'll have high school football. We'll have Grove City College football on Saturday afternoons on Western Reserve Radio.
Bring some other high school sports too. I know you guys like lacrosse, like you keep bringing up. Maybe see if we can bring some soccer over. It's gonna be a fun fall sports season.
Low snap. McElroy just gonna fall on that loose football and bring up 4th down. And now we've got a little more heated conversation. I think that one was burgers or tacos, and they couldn't agree on which one. We don't want to name names like that, though. I already did it once. You say steak restaurant or taco restaurant. That's why you say, this kind of soda or that kind of soda.
Getting to the last 50 seconds of action in this game. 4th down, they're saying 16 to go. I wonder if they'll find a 1st down here. Go for it here. Might as well. Or no, they're just going to call it.
They're just going to let this clock run away.
Can't blame them.
So we have come to the end of this one here this afternoon as the final 30 seconds of the Patricians 2025 season will roll off the clock. We'll come back, wrap things up, and get you set for the game between the Rapids and the Cobras. That's coming up next. After we wrap it up, we'll be back with more on Western Reserve Radio 2.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Putting a wraps on the inaugural season for the Youngstown Patricians in the PAFL Tier 2 as they come up short today in the opening round of the playoffs, falling to the Steel City Bobcats by a final score of 54-8. As we look at the overall season in year one for the Patricians, finishing overall at 3-8 and 2-7 in the PAFL, but When you step back and you look at the season and you look at the roster and you think about the area, Matt, that we come from, there's a lot of young potential talent ready to take that next step from high school football that's not playing college football and loves the game to play for the Patricians in 2026.
Yeah, definitely a wide pool, wide array here of talent, as you keep saying. I mean, there's just so many names you could choose from here in our area between Girard and, of course, our Youngstown schools, Mineral Ridge. What other schools do we have on here? Austintown, Harding, Mountain Point. No, that's Arizona. Hold on. All kinds of great talent, though, out in our region. It'll be interesting to see who's on the roster next, like you just brought up here.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, our second chance for us to work together after doing the All-Star baseball game. I know you're going to be involved in everything we're doing coming up for the high school football season. And just looking forward to see what Western Reserve will have in the future with the iMedia One Network. And you bring some of the sports that a lot of our other guys aren't experts in, so we can expand what we can do and what we can cover.
It'll be exciting to see what we can bring. Yes, that is certainly the case.
A big thank you to our friends from the Youngstown Patricians, President and CEO John Galbraith, their board and their staff. We appreciate our first season concluding with them. Dave has done an incredible job keeping us on the air and producing the video and the audio that we've done. And we appreciate his efforts as well, along with all the times for all of the road games that he has driven to. For Dave and Matt, my name is Mark Means. Patrician season comes to an end here today. They fall in the opening round of the PAFL Tier 2 playoffs, 54-8. Heard right here on Western Reserve Radio 2. Coming up next, it is the Rapids and the Cobras. Join in progress with Jim Craven and Bob Gessler on the iMedia One Network.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.